Oh, word.
Yeah, they just be adding all type of different stuff to it. So now I can like record the video and audio separately now.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, so I'm like, damn. Okay, okay. So yeah, I think we are live now. It's been a minute.
Hey,
Been a long time coming. A
been
nigga
a
been
long
busy.
time. Shouldn't have left you.
Yeah,
Got a podcast to step two, blah, blah, whatever.
yeah. Sorry guys, I've been a little busy.
Hey, man, it's hustle season, man. Okay.
I
Niggas
know.
got to get to the money. All right. It's Christmas season. You got family. People got money to get. We all got stuff to do. Busy holiday season. But we hit y'all with the dope. We left y'all with a very juicy interview with
Yeah,
Mad Hatter a couple weeks ago. So make sure if y'all missing us, check that. It was a long interview. I'm sure y'all listened to the whole thing yet. Listen to the whole thing, man. It's a good interview. Great guest. Hope to have him on again soon. Mad Hatter on the Gyms and Jukes podcast. And yeah, since then a whole lot has happened, man.
yeah,
We got to break down a whole lot of shit that done went down in the interim. So we gonna get to it. Welcome everybody on and streaming. Everybody who might be checking us out on the stream. Everybody on the podcast listening to us the old school way. It's not really the old school way, but we still repping it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's another thing we got to talk about too. I just remembered. Takeoff's murderer was found.
yeah, yeah. I think I put that on the list.
Oh, did you?
I
Oh
think
yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, I see it now.
talk
Yeah,
about
a
plot
whole lot
twist.
happened, man.
That was a plot twist, man.
It was. It was, and it's another reason number 6,425,000,000 why internet detectives need to shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Because y'all know what the fuck we all talking about with all these conspiracy theories and analyzing the video. All y'all were wrong.
yeah.
But we gonna break that down a little bit, man. We're gonna break down a whole lot. So we're gonna get right to it. First off, Ben Figgy, how you been, dog? I know you've been out and about. I know you was at the Army Navy game doing
Yeah,
the damn thing. You've been on Texans tailgating. You had the Browns come to town. I know you had family come through for that. How you been, man?
man, I've been pretty good, man. I was a little under. I got under the weather during the
Uh-oh.
once I got to Philly. It was cold as shit. So yeah, so I just been fighting it. I feel a lot better now.
That's good.
But this time last week, whoo, man, nose kept running, nose was stuffed up, throat was hurting. So it was rough, but I took some medicine and I got through it. So but the backtrack to my family being here, it was fun, man. My sister got here, my in-laws was here, and we tailgated at the Browns game. They enjoyed it. They had a blast. I ended up sitting with my sister at the 50-yard line on the
Mm-hmm.
Brown side. And it was cool, man. It was cool. It was really weird seeing Deshaun Watson in person like that back at NRG in the Browns uniform out of all
Yeah.
uniforms. That was to me, that still looked weird to me. But it was cool, man. We had a good time. Of course the Texans didn't win, but Watson looked awful. He looked like he ain't played in 700 days.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was fun, man. It was fun being there. And then, my I went to Philly last week for the Army Navy game. That was fun. It was cold, but it was fun. We was on the field. It was that so the Army Navy game actually became a good game at the end because it was a snooze fest for the whole 3 quarters. The
Mm-hmm.
fourth quarter, man, they kind of turned it up a little bit where they ended up going to overtime, and it was crazy, man. It was probably the best Army Navy game in a long time. So we had a good time, man. It was fun, and I'm kind of ready for Christmas break, man. I ain't gonna lie.
No, I feel you, man. I feel you. And yeah, it's about that time. Time to wind down at work. Time to enjoy time with family. I know we have this fucking cold snap coming in before Christmas. I hope this shit ain't bad, man.
Yeah,
Hoping, fingers crossed, that no crazy shit happens, like the whole grid going down again and all
yeah,
that bullshit
ice
people got to
storm.
deal with. Yeah. So Hope we ain't got to go through that, man. But we'll see how it goes. But yeah, glad you're having a good time, man. Glad the family came out. How do you feel about Deshaun Watson right now, man? Like, I know it's too early to judge the trade. It's only been 2 games, but they've lost. Well, they beat the Texans. The Texans beat the Texans. Let's be real. The Texans
Yeah,
beat the Texans in that game. They
yeah.
lost against the Bengals. How do you feel about the Deshaun Watson trade right now, man? Do you think they should have just kept Jacoby in for the rest of the season at this point?
Nah, I think look, you got to give them some run, man. It's like 700 days is 700 days. So if you kept Jacoby in for the rest of the season, he would have Deshaun would have been playing next year, and he still got to get through some real game action. So I think it was fine. Just putting him out there. And to be honest, just talking to a lot of Cleveland people, a lot of Cleveland fans, I think they kind of counted this year out anyway, man. I didn't even realize that because I thought they had a chance to kind of squeeze
Mm-hmm.
in the playoffs, but it seemed like a lot of people not really worried. And the crazy part about it is, man, I know we all look at the quarterback position, but that been probably the bright spot throughout this whole season was the quarterback position. Like all the other reasons they lost as many as games as they lost was because of the defense, because of the play calling and all that stuff. So it wasn't like, it wasn't like Deshaun Watson gonna come in and save the season. I think they just had problems other places outside of the quarterback position. And I ended up watching in the Cincinnati game last week, and like Deshaun Watson wasn't the Deshaun in 2020 where he was balling out.
Mm-hmm.
He was okay. He was better. Of course, he was better than he was with the Texans, but he played well enough where they could have won. But it was, man, it was just a bad coach team, man. The defense was kind of rough. It was a lot of penalties. So it's like, man, it didn't matter who was back there. The Browns thing, they need to do a lot of they need a lot of changes coming up, in the off season. So I think a lot of Browns fans kind of counted this season out a little bit.
I feel you. I mean, yeah. I mean, 700 days, like you said, it's gonna take a while. We'll see if it was worth it for them. They paid him a lot of money. They paid him so much money that the league is being sued by the players because they think that there's collusion going on because nobody else since Deshaun Watson has gotten a guaranteed contract, fully guaranteed.
Yeah,
Usually the price of the brick goes up once one player gets paid a certain amount. It didn't happen here.
yeah,
So now people are wondering what the fuck is going on. I think Cleveland was just desperate,
yeah.
super desperate.
I think what was going on too. That's why a lot of the owners were pissed. That's why Baltimore was pissed because they had a quarterback that was up for a contract, and they traded this dude and gave him a fully guaranteed contract, which was insane. And now it's like that player, which is Lamar Jackson, wants something similar, if not
Mm-hmm.
more. And I think these owners are trying to stick their foot in the ground and saying, no, we give you something, we give you this, but we ain't giving you that. And I think that's the issue right there, man. These owners were pissed at the Browns, which they should have been, because that's crazy. Now if Deshaun Watson is getting paid that much, then what you think somebody like a Justin Herbert or Pat Mahomes is worth? So yeah, man, I think I think players are kind of catching on now. So I feel like David Mulligetta probably gonna get a lot more clients.
Oh
They
yeah, definitely.
try to get that guaranteed contract.
But I don't know. Like you said, maybe the league's putting the foot in the ground. Maybe they said, nah, maybe everybody got in the call together and say, well, this is not happening. We're not doing fully guaranteed contracts in the NFL. This ain't becoming the NBA. So I don't know, man. Who knows? But we'll see. I hope Lamar gets paid what he wants, man. He deserves it.
Yeah,
And I guess we'll talk about this will be the all-encompassing sports section and get out the way. The Texans are now 111-1. The season is a wash. They were the first team to be eliminated from the playoffs,
yeah,
and they are at the bottom of the barrel. The whole thing's a mess now. And even if they went out, it doesn't really make any difference at all. Do you think that Pep and Lovey are out after this season?
I think so. I think so. I think if Nick Casario was smart, which I think he is, I think he got to cut bait with them, man. How I mean, it already looked crazy him firing two coaches in a row like this
Mm-hmm.
and still have his job. But honestly, if he keep them again and they have a season like this again, then everybody might be gone. So I would try to like if I'm Nick Casario, I'll try to cover my ass and be like, you know what, let's just move on and get I guess the person I want, which is it's really confusing, man. It's been a weird situation because now it's getting out there that this ain't Nick Casario. Lovey Smith isn't Nick Casario's guy, and David Culley wasn't Nick Casario's guy. Like, if you're the GM, what the hell are you doing there?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I understand he came into a rough situation, but we ain't about to just keep sitting here blaming everybody else and say, "Oh, that wasn't his guy. That wasn't his guy." Like, he got to take some responsibility for something. So, I think they probably will move on from them, man. I think they got to start fresh, get a new coach, get a whole new coaching staff because I ain't even like the way they put this coaching staff together anyway. Like they hired Lovey Smith as the defensive coordinator before they even hired the head coach, and then that's when they hired David Culley. And then once they fired David Culley, they pretty much kept the same staff. So I ain't really like this coaching staff to begin with. So I think they just need a whole new coach and a whole new coaching staff.
But what about the optics, Figgy? What about the optics, man? What about all the talking heads on ESPN who are going to claim that the Texans are racist for having two one and done black head coaches back to back? What
Hey
about the
man,
optics, Figgy?
hey, I think
Optically, it's bad,
to
right?
me, if the Houston Texans are looking at the optics of what the media is going to say, and that's having an effect on who they hire, I think that's it's not going to end well, man. I understand, you don't want to be looked at as bad, but you got to make the best decision for your team. You like if it's moving on from Lovey Smith to get somebody else, get Joe Blow, that would
Hmm.
be way better and make the team better. You got to roll with that, man. You can't roll with Lovey again and have a season like this because you don't want the media to look at you bad. Because if the team is bad, the team is bad, and the media most likely they ain't gonna say shit about the Texans. But if they bad, man, you might lose this whole damn team, man. So I think if they got to move forward, they got to move on from Lovey, man.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. I wanted it to work out. I wanted to believe in the brothers. But yeah, it's rough, man. I don't see how you can move forward with this front office intact next year and
Yeah.
sell tickets.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see, man. But the whole thing's a mess. I don't know the upside is with the Houston Texans, man. At this point,
Yeah.
I
What you
just
think
don't
they're gonna
know.
do in the draft? Do you think they're gonna pick a quarterback?
They have to. They have to. Man, this has been some of the worst quarterback play of any team in like the last quarter century, I feel.
Yeah.
Kyle Allen out there, man. Come on,
That
dog.
was rough, man. And I
Man,
was the one that was saying they probably need to, go to him because Davis Mills was so bad. But now I'm just like, man, this is
dog.
it. Look, man, like going back into the free agency back, back in the offseason, it is a crime that they ain't getting not one quarterback to fucking have a competition with Davis
Hmm.
Mills, man. They gave him the keys to
They
this.
really thought he was him.
Yes, man. It's a crime that they could have brung in Baker Mayfield. They could have brung in somebody to at least amp up a competition, and they ain't do that. And man, this is probably some of the worst quarterbacks ever, man.
It was rough, man. They really out against the Cowboys. They was really juggling quarterbacks. They said, okay, Davis Mills until he gets to the red zone, then put in Jeff Driscoll because he could actually score. Come on, man. It was working for a minute. It was working
Yeah,
for that's the sad part. It was actually working.
yeah. They
But
might need to do that, man.
they should have did it from the beginning of the
I
season.
fuck I fuck around, put all three of them in there, man.
Right? Just confuse everybody, man.
Fuck
Do
it,
some
man.
trick play throughout the season, man. Fuck it, it's already a wash. But
Mhm.
we'll see what happens with the draft, man. Hopefully they get like a Bryce Young or a Bryce Young type. Even though I don't even know how he would do here. Like that's the sad thing, man. Part of me doesn't want a great quarterback to come to Houston because it's like the team is so shitty right now, man. Like no matter what, they're gonna be in a bad situation no matter what happens.
Yeah,
So I don't know, man, but we'll see. I would like an exciting quarterback, definitely, but I also don't want him to get killed. So
yeah,
we'll see, man. But I don't know. It's just gonna be rough. It's gonna be a rough few years.
yeah,
With that being said, we had a whole lot to break down for this edition of our final podcast of the year. Where we got a lot to break down, a lot of current events to talk about in
yeah,
hip hop and just in the culture period. I guess we'll start off with some new music, man. I did listen to the Metro Boomin album, Heroes and Villains. To be honest, it was a few weeks ago. I can barely remember what was on it. I'm not gonna do an in-depth review of it, but I thought it was good, man. I
mhm.
thought it was a good little compilation. I'm getting a little tired of the whole Morgan Freeman intros and interludes. Like, okay, we get it. Morgan Freeman talk like he was on in Savage Mode 2
So, do
with
you think that was a throwaway? I mean, not a throwaway, but you think that was recorded around the time Savage Mode 2 was recorded, and he just put it on there?
probably, I
Okay.
guess. I'm sure they weren't calling him Morgan Freeman in for
Hey,
separate sessions. I got a new album, Morgan. You gonna go through? You gonna slide?
yeah,
I'm sure they probably did a whole lot of in one recording session for Morgan Freeman and just paid him a bunch of money and that was it.
yeah,
But I mean, I thought it was a good album. 21 was all over it. I thought he did a pretty good job. Beats were pretty solid, man. It was a good release, a good late release if you're into current type shit. If you like Metro Boomin, if you like 21, if you like that whole crew, I'd recommend it, man. I thought it was a good album. Some good songs on it, and that's all I got for that. Did you listen to it any?
Qualified.
all right. So I listened to some of it, and I thought it was all right. I ain't gonna lie, I was a little disappointed in the Travis Scott songs.
Yeah.
Because I'm not Jasmine with it with when it comes to Travis Scott,
Mm-hmm.
but I am a big fan of his sound and production, and those didn't really move me like that. So I ain't put those on my special playlist. But I heard some of it. I thought it was cool. I thought it was all right. But the album I did listen to, I listened to your girl, man. Your-
This. Oh yeah. How you feel about it,
I
man? She
listened to
back?
you. Yeah, yeah. I don't have a problem with her music, man. I had to realize that, man, because I know me and you do the podcast, and
Mm-hmm.
you're not that big of a fan of hers, and that kind of rubbed off on me a little bit. But what really rubbed off on me was when we actually went to the TDE concert, and she was singing, and she really wasn't singing, and she was telling people to sing the words, and she really wasn't on the stage singing like that. So I was a little disappointed, because she wasn't singing. But I listened to the album. I thought it was pretty good, man. So the first half was kind of scissor-ish, where
Mm-hmm.
regular kind of modern R&B, but she had a lot of songs on there that kind of put you in mind of Avril Lavigne, and that 2000s I guess pop music. I guess it's not. I wouldn't call it punk rock, but that kind of that pop, that certain type of pop music that used to be played in the 2000s. And she had a lot of songs like that, which kind of shocked me a little bit. And I thought it sounded really good, man. I thought the album was pretty good. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not sure if if we got some R&B heads on here, if if they'll like it. But I thought it sounded pretty good. She sounded pretty good, and yeah, I thought it was a good album, man. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it, man. Like I'm not a fan personally, but I've heard good things about it. Even people who weren't That and the Scissor seem to like it. It's doing really good sales wise too, man. I want to say it did numbers comparable to like Beyonce when she dropped.
Damn.
So yeah, it's doing some. It was doing pretty good sales wise. People seem to like it, man. Maybe it was a good thing that she took a little time off and kind of reinvent it because people seem to be digging it. So yeah, good for her. I'm rooting for her,
Yeah, and
man.
it's been a minute since her first album, so
Yep.
and I think this album probably gonna live up to the hype.
It's funny how all the TDE artists are suddenly coming back this year. I know Ab Soul is dropping too.
Yeah,
Finally.
he just came out of nowhere. I didn't even know if he
Yeah.
was still on TDE. And then
Yeah.
he just popped up with a picture of him and Jay-Z at dinner. I was just like, damn, this is random as hell.
I I bet Schoolboy Q gonna come back next month and say I got a new album coming out now.
Yeah,
So all of a sudden TDE is woken up. All these artists who were on TDE have
yeah,
suddenly woken up and realized they're rappers and
yeah,
singers and they
yeah.
should put
So
out music occasionally.
I wonder, was Kendrick the problem? Because I wonder if everybody was kind of waiting on Kendrick, or
It's
was
possible.
that the hold up? Because now, he got his release. He released this album a
Hmm.
couple months later. Then you start kind of hearing a little more from TDE. So I wonder if they just gonna pick shit back up.
They need to, man. It's about time for Schoolboy Q to drop
Yeah,
something new. It's about
yeah,
time for
that's a good
way past
squad,
time for
man.
Absol.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a good squad. Is Isaiah Rashad still with them?
I think so.
Really?
I
Okay.
want to say, but
Yeah, they had a nice little squad over there, man. I know Kendrick is the one that was kind of holding kind of the man that had him on his back, but
mhm.
they got a lot of good talent over there.
No, they did, man. They were like, they're the man. That people thought they was gonna take over the game. I remember that.
Yeah,
Like they had such a good lineup, headlined by Kendrick, and I
yeah.
went to go see the TDE tour. Like they had a great squad, man. I don't
Mhm.
think they really lived up. It's kind of like Odd Future. Odd
Yeah.
Future had great separate artists,
They had a
but
lot of talent, man.
yeah, but as a whole, like label type thing, I don't think they lived up to what they could have been as a collective. But
Yeah,
separately, they still made good music, man.
yeah. I
So
wonder why. I wonder if people were just too big to be in a group like that.
yeah,
Because sometimes when you get like a big group or a big label like that, it seems like it don't work. It seems like it should work
yeah,
out, but it really don't. It's kind of like having 5 all-stars on a team,
hmm,
and you having them like a bit three or whatever, and it's like, on paper they should be doing amazing,
yeah,
but sometimes it just don't work out like that.
yeah. Like going back to Bad Boy. Speaking of which, we gotta talk about that too. I'm glad I brought that up because we talked. Did you put that on there? The Diddy
I didn't.
and okay, let me put that real quick. Something else to talk about real quick.
Yeah, but
Diddy in the news again after this 96, man. Everybody getting all pressed about Diddy.
I know.
I mean, brother love, my bad.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm glad they're all getting back into music, man. It's way past time for them to start dropping stuff. So yeah, I don't think that a new um Absol is dropped yet, but I'm looking forward to it, man. So we'll see what
yeah.
happens.
Mhm.
Now it's time for some recent events, man.
Where
Uh,
you want to start first?
let's start with the biggest topic of the day or this week. Let's talk about this trial, man. Let's just break that down from the get go. All right,
Which one?
we'll talk about the Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez trial
Okay, I was about to say we got that trial, we got the
and the Gunna.
YSL
We'll talk
trial.
about we'll go by descending order of most recent and like Gunna thing just happened now too.
Yeah.
To things that happened earlier on.
Okay.
But let's just start off with the Tory Lanez and Megan shit, man, because this has been a roller coaster,
Man.
emotionally, physically, every other illy. It's just a lot going on in this trial, man. I've been trying to keep up, but it's a lot of fuckery. I think it's kind of hard for people to report. I don't think they're allowing cell phones in the courtroom, so all the updates we get are
Or
kind
from
of
people outside the courtroom.
yeah,
And
or
then
no,
it's
that
and then it's people that I never even heard of. There's
I'm like, nah, there's some bloggers who I'm like, how the fuck y'all even get in court?
yes. That's the
There's
part
some
that was throwing
court.
me on. Some random ass white guy like, so yeah, Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion, blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah, outside the courthouse and blah, blah. I'm like, damn, is this real or is this some jackass just being funny?
Yeah. I've seen, like, I know there's some legit court reporters reporting on it. And there's also some bloggers I've never heard of before. Like, No Jumper got somebody in there too, I think,
Damn.
reporting on it. So, yeah, it's a whole lot going on, man. But to recap, basically, from what I've heard, now to clarify, this is about Tory Lanez and the incident in which he discharged a weapon, a firearm, at an injured Megan Thee Stallion. It's the state versus Tory Lanez. It's not Megan Thee Stallion versus Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez being charged with 3 felonies, I believe, including assault with a deadly weapon, possession of a weapon in California, and blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. California has harsh gun laws.
Yeah,
So,
he looking at, he can face up to 22 years.
yeah. So he could be going through it if it turned out he was recklessly shooting a gun during the fight.
Yeah,
So Megan Thee Stallion testified. She basically recounted all the things she's already said about it. Tory Lanez and her got into a fight in the car. She was talking shit about Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez got mad. He fired a gun and shot her. And she was also had to admit that they had a sexual relationship at first. Um, and people have been pointing out the fact that she said the opposite in the interview with Gayle King.
yeah,
Um, Sidebar, I always thought that was strange. I remember seeing that clip when
yeah,
it first aired or when it first was going around. And I thought that was weird of her to say.
yeah. We actually talked about that
Yeah.
because
Like
that's when I was like, because she was saying define sexual relationship, or she's,
she
I forgot,
said, Gayle
intimate.
basically,
It was intimate.
yeah. Gayle asked if she had an intimate relationship with Tory Lanez, and Megan was like, "You mean sexual?" And Gayle King was like, "Yeah." And then she was like, she thought about it and said, "No, we did not have a sexual relationship."
Yeah,
Which I thought that immediately, I thought that was weird. Like, I don't know
yeah,
what happened in their bedroom, obviously,
yeah,
but I remember the shit they was on in them Instagram live videos, and they're definitely putting out that we was fucking on each other type energy.
yeah,
So I thought that was strange for her to just to deny it in an interview that she requested,
yeah,
So that was weird. I don't understand to this. I really don't understand why she lied about it. I don't think
yeah. I
anything
wonder.
would have changed if she just admitted that she did.
Yeah, what was the purpose of it?
The only thing I can think of, the only thing I could think of is that she told her boyfriend that she didn't sleep with him.
Mm,
And that's just pure speculation, of course. Her
yeah,
boyfriend is Partisan Fontaine.
yeah,
I guess he's an artist or something who
yeah,
always wants to beat up any nigga who talks shit about Megan Thee Stallion, including The Rock, for
yeah,
wanting to date her or whatever.
yeah.
So
Or one, not even one to date her, one to be her dog.
yeah, some jokey answer, and he want to talk
Yeah,
shit about The Rock. I'm like,
yeah, and
shut up.
yeah,
Whole industry done ran. Anyway,
yeah. He was pretty
uh,
upset about that too, because
yeah,
I guess in the trial they put all of her relationships out there,
yeah. And
and
Megan came out. She said that too. She said that her partisan party is hurt over all this stuff being brought up and a whole
yeah,
past being brought up because Tory Lane's defense also is resting on the fact that Kelsey may have shot the weapon, and the reason she fired at Megan Stein, who was her former, she was the former assistant and like best friend of Megan Thee Stallion before all this happened.
yeah,
And there, Tory Lanez's defense is alleging that Kelsey shot Megan because they had a fight over Megan Thee Stallion always sleeping with people that Kelsey was talking to,
yeah,
including Tory Lanez, including Ben Simmons, including DaBaby. Those names were brought up in court.
yeah. Ben Simmons quickly said, I think he denied all of that.
He put out a video saying the
So
accusations were false.
Yeah, I think,
Like
and look, he trying to cover himself up because
he probably got a girl. I
I think
mean,
yeah, I think he got a girl or engaged or something.
mhm.
He's involved, so I think he had to shoot that down.
Yeah, he's not under oath, so he can lie.
Yeah,
Remember that. He
yeah,
can lie and not face any real consequences.
yeah,
So that was Megan Thee Stallion's testimony, basically. She said that she was shot. It's the same things we've heard already. Then I want to say the next day, Kelsey, who was the friend who was also fighting with Tori in that car, came out. And her testimony, she first made a statement in September to prosecutors. The prosecution brought her on as a witness, and they brought her on the stand, and her story was way different suddenly.
yeah,
Instead of in her original statement, she said that she saw Tory Lanez shoot Megan Thee Stallion. She texted Megan Thee Stallion's bodyguard and said Tory shot Meg. She said that Tory hurt her, Kelsey, in the car, trying to grab her hair and pull her out the car, whatever the fuck they were in. And she said all these things to prosecutors in September. And now, suddenly, under oath, she says that her story changed and she didn't admit any of this. She said she didn't remember. She said she didn't see Tori shoot Megan. She said she heard gunshots, but she didn't remember any of this stuff. And she said she lied to the prosecutors in September about all the stuff she said. And that is so
Now, was she? Now, is it true she was granted immunity or something? Because
she
that was
was
kind of
granted,
going.
yeah, she kept pleading the fifth, and they granted her immunity. Basically, if she admits to any kind of criminal activity, they can't charge her for what she said on that witness stand,
Yeah,
basically. So she was granted immunity, but she wasn't granted, like, she still can't, she's not supposed to lie under oath. That
yeah,
perjury, she was not in, she did not get immunity from perjury.
yeah,
So she could still get in trouble. She lied in court.
yeah.
But this is what she's saying. She says she didn't shoot Meg, but she don't know who shot Meg.
This is this is crazy, man.
Yes. So Megan Thee Stallion's team, after hearing this, is now alleging that Tory Lanez is bribing or threatened Kelsey to change her testimony. Kelsey came back the next day and said that's not true. She said that she did not get any bribes. They asked if she was offered $1 million because apparently that's what Megan said too. Megan said that um,
Tori
Tory
kind of offered
offered
her.
them $1
Yeah,
million dollars if they
mhm,
didn't say anything because, quote, he was on probation,
yeah.
which apparently he wasn't on probation.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
his defense is saying he was never on probation,
Oh, damn.
but according to Megan, he was trying to bribe them to not say anything because he could be deported because he was on probation.
Mm,
Maybe he thought he was and he wasn't. I don't know.
mm,
But so that's been going on, and basically it's just been a whole mess. I don't know what to believe anymore. I don't know who's telling the truth. Even the timeline of events is confusing to me
yeah,
because nobody's story is matching up.
yeah,
Like nobody's.
yeah. I
So
it's really interesting too because Meg is in two different types of drama right now, man. She's in this drama, and she's in the 1501 drama.
mhm.
And what's crazy is I don't even know if it's just a small world or what, but Kelsey is pretty much with the guy that's with Carl Crawford in 1501. I forgot the gentleman's name, but I
Yeah.
think uh uh D Boy or something like that. I forgot his name. I think that's his name. But it's to me, it kind of seemed like maybe I don't know. I don't know if it's like Tory's team and the 1501's team is kind of like in it together. Like they trying to look out for each other. And it's to me, from my point of view, it seemed like they trying to embarrass Meg. They trying to destroy her pretty much because it seemed because you got this girl Kelsey that's she said what she said in the interview, which pretty much said Tory shot Meg. She said all this stuff. She get on the stand and said, she lied. Pretty much said she lied about that, and she don't know what happened. It's like I wouldn't be surprised if they were because look, Kelsey is on the same team as 1501.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same crew. And 1501 had some type of relationship. I don't know how current this relationship is now, if it's ongoing or what. But it's it seemed like they're in it together somehow. Where Kelsey, they probably I don't know if they talked to Kelsey and said, "Hey, no, let's say you don't remember what happened," to try to get out of this type thing. And I mean, maybe it's the right move, maybe it's the only move she can do, but it seemed like it's just throwing everything off because remember the last time we talked about this, we said it seemed like Meg's team is kind of throwing a Hail Mary at this point because the Gail King interview was kind of random.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, damn, it seemed like they just trying to persuade the media a certain way so she can possibly. I'm not saying she was going to win anything because I don't think she ain't the one that's suing or anything, but it seemed like they're trying to sway the media to her side over Tory's side. So I was thinking like, damn, maybe this probably gonna get thrown out. Maybe not enough evidence, but now it seems like everybody just got their stories all mixed up, man. So I don't even know who is telling the truth or not. But the one thing I will say is Meg definitely got shot. That was probably the number one trending topic
Yeah.
back in 2020. People, all the Tory stands kept saying, "No, she ain't get shot," or she lying about getting shot. All this other stuff. She definitely got shot, and I don't know where the hell the video came from. I wish the video was out during that time because the video I seen, she definitely got shot, and you could tell something was wrong. But man, it's strange, man. I wouldn't be surprised if Tory's team, 1501 team are in cahoots together to try to stick together somehow because A, Tory Lanez is pretty much fighting for his life at this point. And B, Carl Crawford is pretty much I don't know what he's trying to gain at this point, but he got some type of thing going on with Meg where he's I don't know if he's trying to keep her or what, but it seemed like they're in it together to me. That's what I kind of got from it, especially with Kelsey being pretty much married. I don't even know if she married for real, but she's definitely with one of the guys in 1501. Like they're
Mm-hmm.
together. I want to say I don't know if she had a baby yet or what, but she was pregnant at some point. So I wonder if all of that is kind of connected with it too.
I mean, it could be. It could be like look, she said on the stand that Tory Lanez did not pay her anything or bribe her or do like that. If that's wrong, that's perjury.
Yeah,
So
I
I
just
mean, that
don't.
don't mean she didn't get payment from anybody,
Yeah,
but she said specifically Tory Lanez did not pay me anything. He didn't bribe me. He didn't threaten me. She said she wasn't scared of Tory. So all that, I mean, if it's false, then she could be charged with perjury.
yeah,
So, I mean, I feel like there's only a few reasons why she would suddenly change her testimony. Number one, she shot Meg and doesn't want to admit it, even under perjury, because she straight up says she didn't shoot Meg. Two, that she knows Tori shot Meg, but for whatever reason, just doesn't want to aid Meg in any kind of sense. I guess because of beef now, who knows? But suddenly she just does not want to have anything to do with putting Tory Lanez in jail or whatever. Maybe she sees it as a win for Megan. I don't know,
Yeah,
but it's just I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen in this case. I mean, it seems kind of cutting. Like I just don't see a way where Tory didn't shoot that gun, man.
yeah,
Like I don't. I wasn't there, but after everything's been spelled out, I just don't see how you can argue that Tory didn't shoot that gun. Nobody's arguing that a gun went off. We know that Megan was shot. They even today, I think they brought the surgeon who removed the bullet fragments from her foot. So we know she was shot.
yeah,
And I just don't see how the defense can spin it in a way where Tory wasn't the one who shot it. If we know a gun went off,
yeah,
how can you say it wasn't Tory who shot it?
yeah,
I don't know. But Kelsey was supposed to be a key witness, and she suddenly changed her mind and didn't want to say anything on the stand, even though she went to prosecutors and said everything. And they
mhm,
even played the tape in front of the jurors because Tory Lane's defense was trying to allege that the prosecution was like harassing her into blaming Tory.
mm,
So apparently they played the entire interview and Kelsey was just giving up the information. It
yeah,
wasn't like they were pressing her extra hard, apparently.
yeah.
She was giving it up.
And two, I think it's good to point out too. During that time, it wasn't no heavy beef. Maybe Kelsey and Meg was going through something at that time, but it wasn't how it is now. Because right now, I think it's the whole relationship is sour because Meg is not even cool with that record label anymore.
Yeah.
And like I said, Kelsey be around that record. I don't want to say she's part of the record label, but she's pretty much with somebody who is like top dog at the record label. And I can't even imagine what is said about Meg at that point or how they feel about her. So she probably feel totally different at this point where, like you said, she could probably right now, she probably like, well, I don't know what happened, or she probably not giving it
I
up
don't
now.
remember it. I don't remember
Yeah,
telling the prosecutors that Tory
yeah,
Lanez shot Meg. I don't
yeah,
remember that. Really?
yeah. But back then they were kind of cool. They probably fell out at that party or whatever. But back then she probably had a little more, sympathy for her. Now it's, like I said, I can't imagine what's being said about Meg, when she around, that label. And you know, they probably want to embarrass her. They probably want to, see her down low. They want to trash her, career probably. So now she like, I don't know what happened. And not to mention the team is Tori's team is throwing out there everybody she slept with in the industry. So it seemed like they really trying to make her look bad at this point. So I think that could be the part of the reason for the big switch up too.
Yeah. I don't understand how in September of this year you can remember everything so clearly, and then in December you don't remember anything. You don't even remember saying you remember it. It's a clown show, man. I don't know what's going on here. Um, oh, your camera
Uh
battery is low.
oh. Wait, hold on. You can still talk. I'm a
All right.
switch cameras.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what to make of this case. Who it might get thrown out because of the fuckery. Who knows? But I don't know. I'm not. I just want to know the truth. Okay, that's all I care about. I don't care who. I don't care about Megan Thee Stallion's sex life. I don't care about who might have lied about what. I just want to know the truth. If the truth is that Tory didn't shoot Meg, then fine. If the truth is Tory did shoot Meg and he's going to jail, fine. I just want to know what happened. I have no stake in any of this. Okay, people who are acting like cheerleaders talking about I told y'all Tory didn't do it. I told y'all, like, I don't give a shit. I don't have the pom poms out for anybody. I just want to know what happened, and I want to put it behind all of us. Like we've been talking about this shit for years now, since 2020,
Yeah,
2.5 years since this shit went down. I just want to know the truth so we can all move on, man. I don't care what the truth is. I just want to know it.
yeah.
That's
Hmm.
all I care about, man.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. This shit, this shit need to be a Law and Order episode, man. Or
It's going, dog. It's gonna be. It's gonna be a BET Lifetime movie. Something. It's gonna be. Somebody's gonna take this whole sequence of events and make a movie out of it. I know it.
yeah,
A TV episode or something. But it's been a whole hot mess, man. I don't know what's gonna happen next, but yeah,
yeah.
we'll
I'm,
see.
yeah, I'm kind of curious what's gonna happen next because like from 1 minute it seemed like, oh, Tory Lanez is good now. He gonna be scot free,
Mm-hmm.
and then another minute is like, oh, like I don't know, I don't know. Maybe he might get some time. So I don't know. And then the whole thing of him bringing his son to court. It's like,
Yeah,
man, this is
yeah.
straight up out the lawyer's book.
That was
And
hilarious.
I jumped out the car, tried to fix his little tie. Like, nigga, you ain't get him dressed.
Yeah,
You know
I
you ain't
saw.
get him dressed. Like, I didn't even know he had a damn son.
He was taking pictures with fans. He was doing the whole nine, man. I was like, damn.
Yeah, this
But
shit is crazy, man.
it really is, man. And we'll see. Hopefully, everybody, like, look, it's going to affect somebody's career at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So,
So let's say Tory is found not guilty.
mhm.
What do you think this happens to what happens with Meg? Do her career go straight down, or is it because I don't know how you feel where her career is now?
Mhm.
I feel like it's not where it used to be, but she still, I still feel like she can do a little something, something. But do you think if he's found not guilty, do this affect her career?
I no, not really, because I feel like the people who are against Meg are going to be against Meg no matter what.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody, the people who are the most vocal and care, they've already picked their side. You know, I don't think there's any casual listeners of Megan Thee Stallion or Megan Thee Stallion fans who are going to be turned off, because at the end of the day, she was still a victim, man. We know somebody shot her.
yeah,
And I don't see this having an effect on her career, really. Now, will it affect people who work with her? Probably, because people are going to want to work with Tory Lanez if he's found not guilty. And if
yeah,
they're friends of Tory Lanez, they'll think that what Megan did was wrong.
yeah,
So there will be artists that probably won't want to work with her, but I mean, she got the entire Rock Nation machine behind her, man. That's not going to slow down for anything. All she got to do is do a fucking best of both worlds with Beyonce, and she'll be back up again, man. So I don't think her career will be. And that's one thing she said in court that I didn't think was really true. She said that Tori got more famous after the shooting, and her career was suffered for it. I don't think
yeah.
that's
I
true.
disagree with that. Yeah,
Yeah, Tori career went to shit after that happened.
yeah. They pretty
So
much took all of his shit out of the algorithms
yeah,
on the streaming stuff. I
his
don't
stuff
think it
wasn't
got.
promoted no more. Like he was
Yeah,
on the up and up at
yeah,
that whole quarantine radio thing was popping off,
mhm,
and that it stalled his career. So
yeah,
I can't agree with that. But I know she's gone through a lot. I know she didn't even want to be on that stand. People are acting like she brought this case and like she
yeah.
want like she look. She wants to be behind. She
This,
wants this
this
behind her
ain't
as
a
well.
this ain't a civil case where she can have
Exactly.
to sue the person.
She wants to be done with this too, and I want that for everybody in this case. Now I want everybody to be able to put it behind them,
Yeah,
move on forward, and just whatever happens, happens. But no, I don't think her career is going to suffer if he's found not guilty necessarily.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I think her career is where it's at right now, and yeah, yeah, it's gonna be where it's at.
Yeah. So now Tory can gain a lot if he's found not guilty. I'm sure a lot of people are going to work with him. People who couldn't really say anything publicly before or do anything with him publicly are going to want to work with him. I'm sure he'll put out new music like immediately.
Yeah.
So, and he'll have his whole fan base will be charged up and wanting to hear new music. So, yeah, I think his career will go up if he's found not guilty or if it gets thrown out or whatever happens.
Yeah.
So that's best case scenario for him, but we'll see. I don't know, man. It's getting spicy.
It is.
Getting too spicy. Now, in other Law and Order news, dun dun.
Should have had the music playing.
We should have. We need that as a fucking
Turn,
a sounder,
turn.
man. Dun dun. Gunna. Now we got to pull up this audio, man. I got the tweet somewhere. Hold up. But Gunna is now free. Gunna, who was arrested in the YSL RICO case, along with Young Thug and other members of the label / quote unquote gang, were arrested. He is now free. He did a plea deal. I believe he got sentenced to 5 years, but with time served and also public service, meaning that he won't have to go wording to he won't have to go to jail unless he fucks up for the rest of those 5 years. And he got to do like 500 hours of public service. So we'll probably see him on them T.I. Crime Stopper commercials. They call me Gunna. And now I'm gonna tell you why you need to.
They call me Gunna. So now I'm going to tell you why you need to tell people
why you need to stay away from gangs. Dog, you know a commercial gonna hit too, man. That commercial gonna look so bad on him. Oh man, but yeah. So Gunna did he has been trending because there was video of him in court. And I guess it was a stipulation of his plea deal. He had to admit certain things, and his I forget what there was some certain plea deal he took where it basically means he maintained his innocence, but it was in the best interest of him to plead guilty because of what might have happened. So he's still maintaining his innocence, but he pled guilty regardless. And we got to play this audio, man. I got the link. I put at the top of the topics.
All right.
But there's audio of him in court and what he had to say or agreed to in his statements as part of his plea deal before he was released. And it got a lot of rappers in the uproar. He is being called a snitch. People are comparing this to Tekashi 6ix9ine, and it's getting a little rough. So we're gonna play this in a minute. And yeah, he made a whole statement. His lawyers are going back and forth talking about why this is not snitching and why he didn't snitch. But y'all gotta decide for yourselves after hearing this. Go ahead and play it.
Became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped the vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocodone, methamphetamines, and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following statement? I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL the gang to the detriment of my community. YSL as a gang must end. Is that correct?
Of course, that cut short, but he did say yes, ma'am, at the end of that statement as well. Now, Gunna put out a statement, and he said, while I have agreed to always be truthful, I want to make it perfectly clear that I have not made any statements, have not been interviewed, have not cooperated, have not agreed to testify to be a witness for or against any party in the case.
Okay,
Now,
that could be
yeah,
true.
it could be,
That
but
could
his
be true.
intentions don't make a difference if they call him
Yeah.
and tell him he needs to testify. But what do you think about this, Figgy? Do you think Gunna is a snitch, and do you think this will affect his rap career going forward?
To me, it's hard to not sit here and say, no, that's not snitching at the video we just saw. To me, look, man, he said the statement he put out, he said he ain't make no statements, he ain't testify, he ain't do all of this stuff, which could be true. But that video, it to me, it seemed like he's not saying who did what and this is how that went down. But it seemed like he pretty much making it harder for people like Young Thug to come home. It seemed like he kind of put saying, "Hey, that wasn't me," and it seemed like it's kind of putting it on him. So the lady said, the firearms in the car. Jeffrey Williams, I think what's his name? Jeffrey Williams.
Yeah, Young
Yeah,
Thug's real name, Jeffrey Williams, or something like that.
yeah. So they said the guns in the car, the firearms in the car. Jeffrey Williams, in the car, using the car. Blah 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 blah. You know, is that true? Or I don't know what I forgot how she put it, but
These items, okay, you were in a car with Jeffrey Williams, and they were covered
yeah,
hydrocodone, methamphetamines, and weapons, and these were not yours. And he said, "Yes,
yeah,
ma'am."
exactly. So now, like, yeah, you ain't sitting there giving a game plan, but now you pretty much out. You pretty much admitted all of this. You said yes, man, to all of this, and now it's gonna be harder for people like Young Thug to get out now. So I guess look, man, I'm not a street dude, but if y'all feel like that's not snitching, well, I don't know what snitching is or what snitching isn't at this point.
Mhm.
Because last time I checked, man, snitching was, pretty much saying I don't know. Like if he was sitting there saying I plead the fifth, then it's like, all right, like I get it. He ain't saying nothing to get nobody in trouble. So, I'm not giving it up. But if me and you was sitting there doing some crime and they corner me up and they said, hey, was it drugs in the car?
Mhm.
With you and Rocket? And I say, yes, ma'am. And were you driving Rocket's car? Yes, man. If I'm doing all of this, I feel like I'm giving you up, though.
Yeah.
It's kind of like giving you up. And, I get to get out, not scot-free, but I get to get out of jail. And now they're going to be like, aha, so this was Ryan Rocket's car. You had drugs in the car. He said yes to all of this. And now they got something to work with. So to me, I feel like it is, man. Like I ain't gonna. I mean, he not sitting there pointing saying who had what, but to me, this ain't no a thing where he get out of jail in the streets. Like, yeah, that's cool, man. Like you never folded, dog, or you never been, or all or whatever terms people be using now. But I don't think it's one of those type of situations where he can stand tall and say his lawyers beat the case type shit. I think he had a hand. Him doing that helped him get out of jail, and I think it's gonna make it harder for Jeffrey to get out.
Yeah, man. Like, look, people. I agree. I think it's snitching, but I also don't care that he snitched. Like
Yeah, me
he
too.
did. Look, I understand it. I would do the same thing. He is. Look, he did what he had to do, man. Like, and
Yeah.
I don't look. I
I'm sure he got
understand
a family. He got
exactly.
bills. People probably eating off of him, so he need to get out and make this
And
money.
as a fan of music, I don't give a shit about him standing on a street code, man.
Yeah,
Like, I really don't. I don't think his fans do either, or should.
yeah,
That being said, we can't be acting like this is not snitching, man. Like, I don't care that he snitched. I don't think anybody should really care that he snitched, especially if people ain't involved in the situation. Now, if Young Thug has something to say, I understand it. But if you just somebody on the sidelines or a rapper or a commentator talking about how he shouldn't have done that, like, well, it's not you in that court. It's not you facing that time. It's not you in that penitentiary.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't understand. This man got his own family. He want to go back home to them. I don't give a shit if he snitched or not, man. But we're not going to act like this is not snitching by what is commonly known as a street code.
Yeah.
So it is snitching. I just don't think we should care that he snitched.
Yeah.
I mean, look, his rap career, especially if Young Thug gets hard time, which I think he will, his rap career is over, pretty much. The only person that can save his rap career is Young Thug. Young Thug got to get home. He got to say, chill on Gunna. Gunna cool. What he did what he had to do. He didn't snitch on me. Or if he does do hard time, but he still puts out a message saying, hey, leave Gunna alone. I want him to get free if he could. I had nothing against him. But if he don't make a statement, or if he don't say, or if he says, fuck Gunna, he turned on me, then Gunna's career is over.
Yeah, I agree.
So
yeah,
it's look, he look, freedom, you can't put a price on freedom. And I'm glad he's home. I never thought he was really involved with YSL like that. He honestly just seemed like he was on a music tip, man. I never thought him, even though his name is Gunna, I never thought of him as somebody who was actually moving weight or doing anything on that side of the YSL.
Yeah.
I thought he was just rapping.
I thought he was just on the music label side.
Yeah. So look, I don't knock it. I understand, but these niggas trying to jump through hoops, trying to explain how what he did was not snitching. Stop it.
Yeah.
Just say you don't care. Like I'm saying,
Yeah.
just say you don't care that he snitched, because we would all do the same thing. And most street dudes do the same thing, man. Let's be real. Most street dudes he be talking about don't snitch if they were in a situation or have been and they snitch.
Yeah.
So,
and it's funny you run that up too, because I feel like the new thing now is, oh, he snitched on a dead person.
Yeah, T.I. admitted that.
Yeah, and then I think they said Dirt did something like that, where they put it all on somebody who died. It's like, come on, man. Like, so now this is about to be the new trend now. So I put it all on somebody that was dead. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, and T.I., after decades of swearing he wasn't a snitch, admitted on his podcast that he snitched on his dead friend and tried to act like his dead friend came to him and said it was okay. This is why T.I. is top 5 corniest nigga to ever rap, dog. It's not just because of it's because of shit like that. What is he talking about, man? Yeah. My dead homie said snitch on me. It's okay. But yeah. Anyway, I mean, there's been a lot of rappers who've been alleged to snitch. Scarface was called a snitch by Lil Troy, and he apparently had paperwork and all this shit. There's been a whole people said 50 Cent snitch. Yep.
A Fat Joe, I want to say.
Yep. A lot of people, man. And it's like, I still bump their music. I don't care. Yeah. I don't care, man. And if we ain't street dudes, unless you in that gang or you facing time, you shouldn't care.
Or affected by it. Personally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like I totally get if you was affected by it. And I think that's kind of some of the drama that was going on between what's his name? Trade the Truth and oh boy.
Zero,
yeah. It was like, oh, the brother didn't take that charge or something like that.
Yeah. J-Ton didn't yeah.
Like stuff like I get that. Like I can't sit here and say, hey, no, he made good music and all this other stuff. Like I totally get if you don't rock with somebody because of that. But as a fan, like, how you gonna sit there and say, like, dog, if dude makes a good slaps, if he got some good slaps, man, he got some good slaps. So, honestly, man, being a fan, I kind of look at rappers a little stupid if they feel like they just got to stand 10 toes down
Mm-hmm.
for another nigga who probably don't even care about them like that and fuck up their whole life, fuck up their career, fuck up their family because their family is pretty much they pretty much taking care of their family. Now their family is fucked because you want to, go to jail for 20 something years and not try to get yourself out to take care of yourself. I kind of look at them a little sideways doing that. But this is coming from a dude that's not a street dude, so don't come for me. But yeah, man. Look, if he still makes some good music, I'll listen to it. And shit, people was listening to Tekashi 6ix9ine for a little bit, but I guess he quit making good music, so that kind of fucked everything up. But yeah, man. Look, man, I don't understand people sitting there trying to defend this. I really don't get it.
Yeah, and this is really what it's boiling down to, in my opinion. We got to decide whether these rappers are street niggas or if they're entertainers. Okay, it's
Yeah,
been boiling up to this for a while. It's time to draw the line of sand. Either
yeah,
y'all are entertainers or y'all are actually doing what you rap about. And if you're
yeah,
doing what you rap about, don't complain if the courts use your lyrics against you.
yeah,
Okay, because if you're a street nigga and abiding by the street codes, then you can't complain about anything that comes your way when it's time to pay the price and go to jail. You can't
yeah.
complain
That's
about
fair.
your lyrics, like you can't. But
That's
y'all
fair.
they want to come up and say what I do is entertainment, what I do is not real. If you're an entertainer and what you rap about is not real life, then you shouldn't be beholden to the street code.
Yeah,
So, which means it should be okay to snitch or whatever you want to call it, and you shouldn't have to suffer in your career because of it.
yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
They gotta decide, man, because they want it both ways. They want the clout of being a street nigga, but when the law come, it's all entertainment. Like
Yeah,
y'all gotta choose, man, because it's going back and forth between what it is and what it ain't.
yeah,
I'm getting sick of it, dog.
yeah. And then too, a lot of street niggas don't really be on the internet like that,
Mm-hmm.
or they try to hide that they're a street nigga if they really want to get out that life type thing. So like if you have a rapper that's trying to move forward, try to look forward, and not try to play this image of I'm a bit bad street man, and don't want to be about that life again, and want to move forward. You can't really do both. So I think that's kind of the problem too, man. I think if they just make good music and because look, like even with the lyrics, we had this back and forth about the whole lyric
Yeah.
and all that stuff, but even if they just did the lyrics and make the music, but actually, you don't see them out and about or being around people, the wrong people, and all that stuff. Like, I could get down with that, but it's not just the music. It's them being out in clubs, being around certain situations, fights breaking out, shootings breaking out. They're around, certain people that's adding on to it because the music is I mean, if I could sit here and make a gangster album and just be in the house Monday through Friday
Mm-hmm.
and not be out, what can they get on me? What can they use on me? Because that's the part where they can't arrest me because of what I said on the song. They gotta somehow prove I was there or I was around this event or I'm cool with this person and I was with that person at that time when so and so got killed. So I think it's not only the lyrics. I think just them being out and about add on to it.
Yeah. and what you're running, like, why did YSL have to be a gang still? After Young Thug got famous, after Gunna got famous, after you got all these people, you making millions of dollars, you touring, putting out hit records, why y'all still gotta be a gang, man?
They
And they even went on, I want to say it was Gilly the Kid and Wallow's podcast. And Wallow, Gilly's homie who did like 20 years in prison,
yeah,
like he was talking to Young Thug and I mean he was warning them. He was
yeah,
like, y'all look, y'all need to stop because
yeah,
this shit gonna catch up with you. And you could tell they wasn't listening or paying him no mind, man. That
yeah.
dude did he was trying to warn them. And everything he said would happen happened.
Speaking of them, they just got a key to the city. They got a key to the city of Philly.
Oh, that's dope.
Wallow and Gilly. So they've been doing a lot of positive shit, man. So salute to them.
No,
But
definitely, man.
yeah, man. Like I think, with them to answer your question, why they still a gang or why they still roll around with that, I think they just in too deep. They got to the point where, they can't just stop and, end it because they probably got beef with so and so.
Yeah.
And and I don't know where they at in the ranking polls of gangs or anything, but if they on top of the world, they taking over the city, they ain't about to stop. They still gonna be going around like they can do whatever they want. And everybody there ain't rappers. It's a lot of street niggas over there that probably feel like they gonna be a career street nigga. So like I just think they got so far to a point where they can't stop, man. They in too deep because even look at somebody like a Jay-Z. I want to compare him to Jay-Z, but Jay-Z was out in the streets too, and he hung with a certain amount of people. But you notice how he had to separate himself for him
Mm-hmm.
to grow because I don't think Jay-Z would be where he at if he still hung out with the same people. So I think with dudes nowadays, they like to stay with each other, homies for life, niggas for life, and all that stuff. And it really ain't gonna get you nowhere. And that's not just in music, that's in life, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't hang around the same people I used to hang with. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be here. I'd be focused on a little tiny block in Cleveland. And I'll be focused on what club is popping that night. I wouldn't be focused on a career. So I think that's part of the problem too.
Yeah. No. I mean, look, it is what it is. Yeah, they probably were in too deep, and probably that was life they knew. They didn't want to
Yeah,
they didn't want to go legit. Like that
yeah,
was fucking. I think Thug liked being a gang leader, man. He
yeah,
liked rapping, but he liked being a gang leader too. So
yeah.
look,
And honestly, if you in the streets and you getting money, you got money already.
mm-hmm.
Like, why would you stop doing what you doing? Like, what you like? They ain't gonna stop and say, you know what? Let me get a legit
No,
job.
you young, you think you invincible. You
Yeah, we
fucking
see it.
drugs start getting to you too, man.
Yeah, we see it all the time with these notorious drug dealers.
Mm-hmm.
They keep making money, and people always. And I'm using people loosely. I'm talking about myself.
Mm-hmm.
I would be like, man, if I got like $5 million, I would quit and just live a regular life. But I don't think it's that easy, man. I don't think you could just get a little 5-10 million and just be cool. You're gonna feel like the man, and you're gonna feel like you're untouchable. You probably got some cops in your pocket and all that shit. You feel like you'll never go to jail, and that shit always go crashing down, man.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll see what happens, man. I believe Young Thug's case is gonna start soon as his trial. Well, if he go, well, I don't even think he's pleaded yet, but we'll see. People suspect he might plead guilty, and we'll see where that goes from there. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with Gunna. I mean,
Man,
it's funny. Nobody welcomed him home. I think Meek Mill put out a tweet and deleted it,
damn.
and everybody been either silent or shitting on him.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been kind of rough for Gunna in the industry.
It's
at least
funny.
he's home.
Yeah, it's funny because I was about to make a tweet like, man, all these people that ain't street people over here talking about snitching and this, snitching that, and I can't believe he ratted all this other stuff before before I saw the video. And thank God I probably would have had to delete my tweet too.
Mm-hmm.
But when I saw the video, I was just like, oh, that's not a good look, man. That is not a good look.
No, nobody can even welcome him home, man. That's a damn shame. But oh well, I'm sure his family is glad he's back at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of rough. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I think Thug is the only one who can stop the hate against Gunna now. So we'll see what happens with that. But I don't know, man. Could get ugly. Could get very ugly. In other legal news, Brittany Griner, somebody else is free. Star WNBA player Brittany Griner. Yeah. Give it up. Applause. Our ladies in the building. Give it up for your girl.
I don't know if people saying that to her when she walk in, but
yeah, I don't know, man. But I think a certain selection of people might, but young MA loving crowd. But the salute to Brittany Griner. She's finally back home. She was brought back as part of a prisoner exchange with Russia. The man they brought back is exactly who we thought they were going to trade for.
Merchant of Death.
The Merchant of Death himself, Victor Boot, who was so inspirational. They made a movie about him called Lord of War with Nicolas Cage, inspired by him at least.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that movie was loosely based on Victor Boot.
Okay.
And yeah, he has been called one of the most prolific worldwide arms dealers in the world. At the time he was arrested, on conspiracy to kill 4 American politicians, I believe. And yeah, he was serving, I want to say, like 25 years. And he did less than half of that. And he was released for Brittany Griner. So people are now, there people on both sides. Of course, it became a blue and red issue. There is a man, I believe a former Marine, who is still in detainment in Russia over some strange charge of espionage, which is likely not true, or possibly not. I don't know what happened, but people are upset that he's still over there and he's been over there longer and was not part of this trade and is still over there while Brittany Griner is free. Others are just happy that Brittany Griner is free. People have been beating this drum for a long time and are happy she's back. Figgy, what are your take on this trade? Do you think we got fleeced?
To answer your question, yes, I think we got fleeced. I mean, if you look at it, player from player, look, man, I feel like we should have got more. We should have got more back. Nah, but yeah, man, I think, look, we said this from the beginning. I felt like she shouldn't have been there in the first place. That was ridiculous to be in jail over what she was in jail for. But this was bigger than that. It wasn't as simple as, oh, well, she broke the law and served the time. It wasn't as simple as that, because I'm sure a lot of people got in trouble for the same thing and didn't have a 9-year sentence. So I think this was clearly chess, and they got one on the US, and they just knew they knew that was the perfect chance for them to get their guy back. And it was nothing the United States could do about it, man, because Russia, they run their own country. Then it ain't like it's China. I mean, well, I think China might be similar situation, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, I think they just caught them slipping. It was checkmate. They had to get her out, man. They couldn't let her sit there for 9 years, man.
Yeah.
Over that shit. And Russia knew it. So yeah, man, they had to make a trade. I was just shocked that they didn't get more back for it. I ain't trying to be funny,
mm-hmm.
but I felt like, man, if they really wanted their guy, I would have been like, man, look, you got to give me this. You got to give me this American back, man. Like both of these Americans, like this, or we gonna have to sit, talk again in a month or something. And I was just kind of shocked at that, but I guess the family of the guy, the American that's over there now, put out a statement, and I guess they kind of wasn't surprised. It wasn't like a thing where they was expecting him to come home, because I guess whatever he did was kind of serious. So they kind of know what it is, and they wasn't really holding their breath on it. But look, man, like I said, they caught the U.S. slipping, and that was the perfect chance for them to get their guy back, which was kind of smart, man. I'm not sitting there defending Russia or anything, but it was kind of smart. WNBA player who minded her business got caught doing something she shouldn't have been doing, and they held on to her, and that's how they got a guy back. And I think it's tricky too, because now my mindset is, what about these other countries? Because there's Americans all over the world, working, playing basketball overseas and stuff like that. So are these other countries maybe going to try to catch Americans slipping and do the same thing? And do we have to do, we going to have to make another trade again? Is this going to keep going on? That's the only thing I'm kind of worried about, man. But, Brittany Griner, the way our country is now, where, she was a black woman playing basketball, they couldn't just let her sit over there, man. So, they couldn't bullshit around it, because it would have looked bad on us. And I'm not even blaming the president for this. It was literally nothing he could do. Maybe honestly, if Trump was in office, he probably would have talked. He probably could have worked out some type of deal, which I think he'd be working out deals with Russia anyway. So he probably would have got her home without giving that dude up. But look, man, like that was just a fucked up situation. Called them slipping, man. They had to do it.
Yeah, I mean, look, both sides did what they had to do. Honestly,
Yeah.
Like Russia played hardball because they could. They know. Like, look, Victor Boot being in jail makes no difference for them now because he'd been in jail.
Yeah.
But Brittany Griner being in jail over there was very detrimental to Biden's whole election chances, re-election chances, the Democratic Party, everybody. People been banging that drum forever, talking about how Brittany Griner still ain't free. Y'all ain't doing enough. It has made the presidency look bad in that respect. So he had to do what he had to do. Russia played hardball because they could. And that's what happened. So, look, I mean, I do think it's funny how when America had this guy arrested, if you look back at what people were saying, the politicians were saying, they were acting like it was a huge home run for the country. They were talking about how dangerous this guy was. They were talking about how, it's so go USA. We got one of the most dangerous people on earth and finally arrested him. And now it's no big deal. We let him go. Right? But hey, Brittany Griner's home, y'all. That's the important thing.
So how many more years did he have? Because I heard he didn't have a lot left on his sentence.
He did less than half of his 25 years.
Okay.
So he probably had a little like 12, 13, 14, something like that.
Okay.
But he had a substantial amount of time left in prison. And so, yeah, I don't know. Look, I just think it's fun, the propaganda when he was arrested versus when they let him go. And it's like, we got Brittany Griner, though. So, look, I'm happy she's back. And that was the only way they were going to get her back. So, I'm sure they exhausted it took a while. I'm sure they exhausted every option, and this is all they could do.
They didn't want to give him up.
Yeah.
They didn't want to give him up, but man, they had to give up that spade, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if you play spades, but
Yeah.
you know
They had
that
to
person
do it,
that just
man.
keep throwing out little spades, and you like, God damn, you keep
Yep.
how many spades do you have? And they throw out another spade and
Yep.
end up taking your fucking joker, man.
Yep. Yep.
Taking your last spade. Damn.
They had to do it, man. They had to do it. So, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, they got fleeced, but what can you do, man? They had all the leverage, and it is what it is. So,
How do you feel? Do you feel like she needs to move in a different way now, knowing she's back in the United States? Do you feel like she need to be a little more woke now, or should she just keep going on like normal? Because remember, we kind of had a conversation with Meek when Meek was in jail, and if he get home, he got to be a little more conscious and all this other stuff.
yeah,
And he
that
pretty
didn't
much,
happen.
he pretty much said it wasn't happening.
Yeah, we should have left Meek in there. Let's be real. We probably should have left Meek in there.
Speaking of that, did you see him? He was lining. I forgot where he was at. He was on a football field and he ran that route. Did you see that?
I didn't see that,
Oh
but that sounds
God.
like something Meek would do.
This was honestly. Let me see if I can find it. This was probably worse than the fucking him trying to box.
Yeah. It's full. I mean, I'm not surprised. See, I saw him do backflips on a trampoline at an NBA game and shit. So nothing Meek Mill does surprise me anymore, man. But yeah, all that we were talking about how he's gonna be Nelson Mandela when he came home, and he was just like he actually started acting worse. I feel once he came back. So, but to answer your question, I don't think Brittany really needs to do anything. I mean, I'm sure if the US doesn't have her do things, I'm sure she'll feel indebted. So I'm sure she'll be like helping with the campaign of Joe Biden in some form or fashion, speaking about how she wouldn't even be back here if it wasn't for him. You know, I feel like she'll be used politically for promotion. And so we'll see how that goes. But this is him running a route. What's going on here, man?
This is
Trying to
him
bust
running
$1 billion play. Michael. Okay, what's he doing?
He hurts back there, quarterback. Go ahead, cuz.
Oh no.
Oh, move!
Oh, what was that? What was that?
Like why the fuck is he in the 3-point stance? Look at this, man. Like, why is he in the 3-point stance right here?
Back there, quarterback.
Like, what is he playing? Tight end?
Go ahead, cuz. Oh, move!
That was the slowest double move in the history of double moves, man. It ran right into the guy too. Wow, I'm not surprised.
Like, you think he'd line up like a receiver, right?
Meek Mill never played football, man. Come on. It's obvious.
Clearly.
Meek Mill never played no damn football. You just seen that on a movie once.
Yeah.
So,
but how you feel about the coverage of Brittany Griner? Because now they was kind of going overboard with it. I want to say a week after she got out. Because she was like the #1 topic on ESPN. Like, oh, Brittany Griner dunked the basketball. Brittany Griner, she ate this when she first got home. It's kind of doing play-by-play of her life after, the swap.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure, and I don't know if she's actually officially made a decision to come back and play basketball. I'm assuming she will. I mean, because you that tall, what the fuck you gonna do but play basketball? But I don't know, man. I'm sure she'll get a huge round of applause when she first makes her comeback in the WNBA. Her first speaking event, I'm sure people will care a lot, but eventually, like all things, we'll stop caring.
Yeah.
But it's good to have her back. I'm glad they got it done. But yeah, it's not like she's going to become a superstar
Oh no,
because of this.
Yeah, I don't think
This will just be something crazy that happened
Yeah.
at one point in
Yeah,
time.
people will move on.
Yeah, they might make a 30 for 30 at some point about it,
Yeah.
but it's not like she gonna be like the MJ of the WNBA
Yeah.
now that she's back from Russia. But
Yeah.
I'm glad she's back, man.
How you feel about the swap? The video watching the swap.
Dog, I didn't think they're actually gonna do it like that. They actually did it like they
It
do
was
in the
like a
movies,
movie,
man. They met on the runway. They
Yeah.
fucking walked right by each other.
Yeah.
And apparently he even said he wished her luck,
Damn.
the Victor Boot guy. So yeah,
Yeah.
man. It was crazy. It was weird they had video too, and it's weird the video got out. But I
Yeah.
guess Russia put it out. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was a trip to see, man. Like, damn. But it
No,
felt like the end of Man on Fire when Denzel swapped himself for that little white girl. What's her face?
Oh yeah. What's funny is it like right then and there when you watch that, it looked like Russia knew they won the trade.
Mm-hmm.
They were celebrating. My man was like, "Yeah." He gave that hug like when your homeboy get out of jail after 10 years. That hug, that strong hug, like yeah, nigga, yeah, nigga. The rapper get out of jail and record it and get on the private jet. That's what that looked like. It looked like they got finessed 2 times back, man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, that shit was funny. The U.S. looked kind of disappointed. They look kind of salty, man.
I mean, look, man, they didn't want to get that man up. Like I said, they were acting like it was a fucking home run when they got that guy, and it was a huge win for the country. And now they just had to let him go and act like they didn't say any of that shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is what it is. They did what they had to do. I understand why, but yeah, it was wild that it happened. But
yeah.
Oh well. Other things that happened. Actually, now I think it's about time. Let's get into our year-end recap, man. Let's talk about our albums of the year and our songs of the year and everything in between. A lot of hip hop have dropped, a lot of rap albums, a lot of good stuff. We talked about it throughout the entire year, man. And we have our picks for album of the year. I have mine. I didn't rank them this time.
Okay.
Last time I think I did. This time I didn't feel strongly enough to say this was number 1, this was number 2, whatever.
Yeah.
But I do have my top 5 albums of the year. And I'll go first. I'll say my list. I have, of course, the Kendrick album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, is on there. Strong comeback effort from Kendrick after a 5-year wait. I admit I don't go back to the album a whole lot. It's a heavy listen. It's very emotional, and it's not really something that picks up your spirits. But I think it's a good album, and I thought it was a good return for him. And I'm glad he was successful with this tour. I'm glad it all. What up, Tab? See you in the comments, man.
Tab, what up?
What's going on, bro? We're just talking about our year-end wrap-up and albums of the year and all that stuff. So we're just running that down right now. And my first one, not ranked numerically, just in general, with the Kendrick album. Next up, I'll go the Freddie Gibbs album, Sold Separately.
That's mine too.
Yep, I'm going with that. Like I said, I was not, when we reviewed it, I was not looking forward to it because I thought Gibbs was going to be on some corny shit like he is in his social media.
Me too.
But this album is actually really good, man. It was very strong. Production was on point. Raps were on point. I was very, very excited it was a great listen. I recommend it to anybody who just wants to hear good rap.
Yeah.
I put that in my top 5.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I might have that number 1. Might be my favorite.
I haven't ranked
I haven't ranked anything, but that might be my favorite album.
I wouldn't knock you for it, man. Tab asked, "Did y'all review the new Dolph album? I didn't know he put one out. Is it like a new album or like a Tupac new album or something
Like a
like that,
possible.
man? Yeah, a posthumous
Yeah.
mix of songs, or was it like a finished album before he died?
Mm. Yeah, I'm
I
not.
gotta know
I,
that
I
because I don't
did
know.
see it. I didn't listen to it because I thought it was probably gonna be like a posthumous album.
Yeah, I know it's like, but was it finished before he died? That's what I want to know. Or was okay? Okay, I'll
Okay.
check it. I'll check it. So,
Is it easy for you to listen to like when street rappers get killed? Is it easy for you to just listen to their music like normal, or especially new music? It's kind of tough for me because like Dolph got a new album, and
mhm.
we probably know the topic discussion
Yeah,
on the album. It's hard for me to listen to rappers like that, their new projects when it's like, where they just talked about violence and all this other stuff. Like it's hard for me, or it's also hard for me to listen to people like Juice World when if they have a new album and you listen to it and they, the emo shit that he talks about is on the album, and it's like,
mhm.
damn, I could think of nothing like it's hard for me because it's like, damn, this dude is literally talk. It sounds like he's talking about dying.
Yeah.
So it's always hard for me to listen to people, rappers when they pass, rappers like that.
No, I agree. I felt the same way about Pop Smoke and his music.
Yeah,
Especially like I remember he remade Many Men on his last album, and at the last words were something like, "I got it on me. Run up if you want to." All I could think of is, okay, they did.
yeah,
Like it's hard. It's hard to listen to music where it's like a rapper is daring somebody to come kill him, and then they die violently.
yeah,
So yeah, it is strange, man. It's kind of tough, but I mean, I can listen to it. I'll check the new Dolph, man. I'll check it. So the tab says there's not much gunplay on a new Dolph album. It's just getting money music now. Okay, I'm with that. I'm gonna check it. Well, I'll check out the. That might have to be a New Year review,
yeah.
but I'll check that for the podcast eventually. So now my top 5 of the year, I had Kendrick not number anything, but Kendrick, Freddie Gibbs. I'll go ahead and put that Black Star album up there too, man. No Fear
Okay.
Time, Most Def, Talib Kweli. Now
I still ain't hear it.
I still hate how this album was released. It's still only on that bullshit fucking streaming app for books, and that's not even for music, Luminosity or whatever the fuck it is.
You need to send me the album, man.
I
I
need to
still
get.
ain't hear
I'll give you the link, man. I keep forgetting, but I'll give you the link. But I mean, I will give you a legal download. FBI, don't arrest me.
it.
But yeah, it's look, it didn't live up to 20 years of waiting, but it was still a very good album. I felt that Talib surprised me. He sounded good on this album, man. Um, Most Def did what he did. I'm not gonna say he sounded like prime Most Def. He didn't, but he came on strong, and the album was great, man. It was not gonna say it was worth the wait because it was a long ass wait, but it was a great album. Great to hear them put out quality music again. Madlib did all the beats, so of course production was on point. And it was a hot album, man. I like seeing them perform on SNL with Dave Chappelle too. I thought that was a dope moment for hip hop. So, yeah, man, that's up there too. No Fear of Time by Most Def, Talib Kweli, Black Star.
Yeah.
Next up, I will go with the Black Thought and Danger Mouse album, Cheat Codes. I like that album a lot, man. I keep going back to it. Um, fucking Black Thought's gonna do his thing lyrically, but the production was really good on this as well. Danger Mouse really laced him up with production, and this is the best solo Black Thought album of ever, in my opinion. And ranks upon his best work. So I put that up there. Black Thought, Danger Mouse, Cheat Codes. And last but not least, I'll go King's Disease 3 by Nas.
Okay.
And I heard as a J fan to put a Nas album in the top 5, but I can't deny greatness, man. I gotta say, this album is really good. Great album to end the year with. Very strong, great production. Nas came with it lyrically, of course, like he always does. So yeah, nothing else to say about it, man. Just great album. Check it out if you're a fan of hip hop, man. Even fucking Ian Rappaport loved it, I
Did
guess.
he say something?
Did you see that tweet?
Duh.
Ian Rappaport, like randomly a week ago or something, just started talking about how much he loves the Nas album and how he's glad he listened to it.
Damn.
Yeah. Let me find the fucking tweet, man, because now I gotta look this up.
That's wild, man.
It was so. Was it? Yeah, it was Ian Rappaport. Hold on. Nice. Okay, this fool went and said, this new Nas album is exactly what everyone said it would be and more. Absolute fire emoji. I feel like I've been transported in time. Best album I listened to in years. Then he did like a follow-up tweet about how he was at the show where I guess a Jay-Z show where Nas came out and right after the beef and all that stuff, and how he's a big Nas fan. And I'm like, wow, this is how I see all Nas fans now, looking like Ian Rappaport.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, here we go.
So yeah,
this is like yeah, damn, okay.
So apparently Ian Rappaport is a huge King's Disease 3 fan and a huge Nas fan. And he said it was the best album he's heard in years.
Look at this.
So
Ian Rappaport.
Oh man. Yeah, he was getting all the memes and shit.
Man, with Ian Rappaport running the Nas.
Yeah. Yeah, it's too funny, man. Too funny. Nas done had a crazy year, man. From being dissed by 21 Savage to doing a song with him to dropping this album.
We didn't even talk about that song. How you feel about that song?
I mean, it was cool. It was cool. I'm glad they did it. I'm glad they hooked up for it. And yeah, it's just good to see, beef being settled like that instead of Nas coming out with a statement or some shit or some goofy back and forth. So it kept it hip hop, man. And I respect that. So yeah. And I think 21 was a smart guy. I don't think he meant to disrespect Nas, man.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think he just got caught up in a discussion and he just disagreed with somebody saying whatever they said.
Yeah.
But I don't think he meant disrespect to Nas. Obviously he did because he did a song with him.
Yeah, and then too, he still be on Clubhouse.
Yeah.
And he be on there with a lot of East Coast people. And they be on there having discussions. They be, arguing, having discussions about music, about R&B and all this other stuff. And I think he was trying to make a point. And, of course, it get twisted up and we start talking about it. But I don't think he meant it like, this dude is trash and irrelevant type thing.
Yeah.
I think he actually has some type of point to it. But, it's hard to sit there and say Nas is say the words Nas is irrelevant.
Yeah.
And, everything be cool.
Yeah. I'm glad they linked back up and fixed it that way. Oh yeah, I found a follow-up tweet by Ian Rappaport. He said, if you came here for Nas stories, which I don't think anybody who follows him did, here's more. The night of Super Bowl 38, something 50, I don't know what the fuck. I lost the ability to read long Roman numerals. But I went to a Nas concert and he was still beefing with Jay-Z. There were rumors Hove would show up. 30 minutes in, he was there and it was electric. Everyone was whispering about it. Nas killed it, of course. So I guess it was a Nas concert that Jay-Z showed up to.
How did I miss this?
Super Bowl 48, by the way. Super Bowl 48, not 38, my bad. Couldn't even read that shit right. Super Bowl 48, a Nas concert where Jay showed up. And what year was that? Wait. This is like 2013. Nas was still not beefing with Jay-Z in 2013. I don't know what that
I
meant,
don't
but
think so.
yeah. But so he also posted a picture of Jay-Z and Beyonce at the show as well. So just to prove to y'all who don't know he's down with the culture that he was there.
That's
Yes, it's
crazy.
true.
How did I miss that tweet? That
I
is
was laughing
wild,
at it,
man.
man. I was laughing at it. But yeah. So shout out to Nas for having a great album to close the year with. And that's my top 5, man. To run it again, my top 5 albums of this year that I chose were Kendrick, Missing Around the Big Steppers, Freddie Gibbs, Soul Separately, No Fear Time, Black Star, Black Thought Cheat Codes, and King's Disease 3. A few honorable mentions. I'll mention Only Built for Infinity Link. Well, let me put yours first, man. I want to know what's your top 5. You ranked them, right?
Not really.
Okay.
I would say my number one album is probably the Freddie Gibbs album. The
Okay.
rest of them just all over the place.
Okay. Let me hear the rest of them, man.
Yeah, so I liked Freddie Gibbs album is number one for me. You mentioned the Kendrick album, that's on my list.
Mm-hmm.
King's Disease, that's on my list as well. I think that's an amazing album of the year. But one you didn't mention, I don't know if you got this in the album, maybe I guess the what you call it? The
Honorable mentions.
honorable mentions, yeah. I really like that Game album, man.
Oh, really?
I thought
I was thinking about that too. I was like, it was actually pretty decent.
That was a good album, and spoiler alert, I might have a song on there as a song of the year for me.
Oh wow. Wow.
Which is kind of shocking.
Is it the Bone Thug song?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I like the Game album a lot. And the other album, to be honest, man, I kind of like I like the Drake and 21 Savage album, man. I thought that was a really good project, man. I know this list is kind of cheesy for me. I ain't really go deep in the sticks, in the hip hop sticks, but I just kind of, I guess the way I listen to music now, I don't really be trying to search for new shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I either listen to new music that pop out in front of me, or either I listen to old shit. I listen to shit that been out for years. But I really like the Drake and 21 Savage album, man. I ain't know what I was gonna think of this album, but I still listen to joints from that album to this day. And the album did pretty good this year. And yeah, man, that's real quick. My top 5 albums. You had 3 of mine. I put the game album in there too. But yeah, I think it was that Drake and 21 Savage was a really good album for me. And so I put that in there.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it, man. I think I'll put that as an honorable mention for me as well. I mean, it was I know there's a dude who listens to the podcast drunk who thinks I hate Drake and hated that album. I like the album, man. I know what else you want me to say, dog. But yeah, that album is good, man. And I go back to a few joints. I don't listen to the whole thing, but it was a good album. Way better than honestly Nevermind that he dropped earlier this year, which I think even Drake fans want to forget about at this point. But yeah, it was a good album, man. I also had the Quavo and Takeoff, Only Built for Infinity Links album in the honorable mention. Heroes and Villains, Metro Boom was pretty good. I put the Yeet as well. Good workout music, man. Yeah, that dude is weird. I can't call myself a fan of this dude because he's a weird guy, man. But the album is hype, man. It's good workout music, so I put that there too. Now, my songs of the year. A few of these I already got in my albums, but my songs of the year, and again, no real. Actually, this might be in a kind of a order, but number one, I probably put the Black Thought Believe song with MF Doom. I played that song a lot, man. Like I played it when I first heard it. It was on loop. And I just listen to it nonstop, dog. And I still go back to it, and it still feels fresh. So that is definitely up there for me. Songs of the year in my top 5. Even though this song came out technically in December of last year, I still put it up there because I bump it all the time. And the album came out this year. It's Earl Sweatshirt 2010.
Mm.
I play a song a lot, man.
Oh, his
Like
album
a lot.
Did his album come out
It
this year?
did. The Sick
Oh,
album did. And
damn,
I don't
that's
go back to the
sick.
whole album, but I go back to a few songs.
Damn.
And there's another song, the very last song on that
The
album,
last
too, I go
song,
back
yeah.
to. Yeah, I go back to that song a lot.
Yeah, that's
Fire in the Hole. That's the
Fire in
one.
the Hole, yep.
Yeah. So, but 2010 is a song I just keep on replay, man. To this day, I still listen to it a lot. So that's in my top 5 as well. Now, Quavo Takeoff featuring Young Thug and Gunna for Chocolate. I play that song a whole lot, man. When I first heard it, I played on replay as well. These are all songs I just kept on repeat when I first heard them, man. It's like you listen to an album and you hear that one song, you don't want to go any further than that. You just want to keep playing it back. That's what I did here with Quavo Takeoff, Young Thug and Gunna on Chocolate.
I have a lot of songs like that where I just put it on repeat and literally play that shit the whole ride
you
to
play
work.
it out, man. Yeah. And then like a month later, you don't want to hear it no more because you don't played it too much. But I put that song up there. I listen to it a whole lot. Black Star, So Be It. I think it's probably the strongest song in my opinion on that album. So I put it up there as well. There's a video for it too. So yeah, I love that song. And I'll put Vince Staples. He dropped an album this year called Ramona Park Broke My Heart. He has a song on it called When Sparks Fly. And I put that in as my song of the year too. In my top 5, man. Good song, crazy beat. The beat is insane. And I like the song. So I put that in my top 5 as well. So to recap that, Black Thought, Belize, Quavo Takeoff, Chocolate, Earl 2010, Black Star, So Be It, Vince Staples, When Sparks Fly for my top 5 songs of the year. Figgy, I want to hear yours now, man.
All right. So one of mine, let me get to my little list. So one of mine, I don't think we even talked about this song, but this is one of my favorite songs of the year. ASAP Ant. I know you're familiar with ASAP Ant. He got a song with ASAP Rocky called The God Hour.
I like that song. Yeah.
That song is so hard.
That's my workout
man.
playlist, man. Yeah, I like that song.
Yeah, I love that song. So that's one of my favorite songs of the year. I like the Kendrick. I think the Kendrick song, The Heart Part 5.
Yeah.
That was a really good song. I like that song. I might have overplayed that song, and honestly, I think people overplayed that song too.
Yeah.
They had that in the playlist at Texas training camp. So every time I hear that song, I think about training camp now. The third one, this a little shocker, man, but that Hotel Lobby song, I like that Hotel Lobby song, Quavo.
Oh yeah, I probably should have put that in there too, but I couldn't put two off the same album.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite songs of the year too.
Man, that song is hard. And when I first heard that song, remember I wouldn't say we shouldn't know the Migos, but we were like, are they done? Did they fall off? And when that song came out, I'm like, this shit is hard. I'm like, maybe they don't need Offset because that shit was hard. Takeoff.
Yep.
To me, that was probably his verse pretty much sold the song. His first verse pretty much stole the song. That was one of my favorite songs of the year. Oh shit! Hold on, I lost my damn list. Hold on. But yeah, so The God Hour, The Heart Part 5, Hotel Lobby. So I'm gonna name this one last because I don't want to put this in my top 5 yet because the song just came out. And I've been playing. This is probably my most played song of the year. But this song, I like this Future song, Future Gunna and Young Thug. This song called For a Nut. That's all been on my playlist too. This was on Future's album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I
I
don't think you
probably
heard it. But I've been playing that song heavy too. And in the last one, I like the Pusha T and Jay-Z that can rest. I felt like that was a hard song for me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much my song of the year. Not that song, but the list. But so this song recently came out, I'm about to mention. And I think it's too early for me to put this as a song of the year, so I ain't gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
But Sheck West came out with a song called Pain.
Oh, okay. I know you still putting out music.
I didn't either. I actually wrote so whenever I open Tidal, I go to the new tracks and just let it play. And I came across that song. I'm like, who is this? And I see it was Sheck West. I think the song just came out last week.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago.
I want to say a week or 2 weeks ago, yeah. But I've been playing this song damn
This
near
shit sound
every day.
hard, man.
Huh?
This shit sound hard. I'm listening to it right now. Shit
Yeah,
hard.
yeah. I've been playing that song every fucking day, man. I think the song ain't nothing but like a minute 30. But I've been playing that song every day, and that's probably my most streamed song of the year.
Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Some other mentions too. I like the Nas "Don't Shoot" song, and I'm like the "I'm on Fire" song.
Okay.
Another song too, Duke Deuce, Black Ops. I like that song. That album was pretty good too. I should have mentioned that album, but that was a pretty good song. And yeah, man. Yeah.
Nice. Now people are gonna ask why we didn't have the Pusha T album in our top 5. Honestly, man, I just don't go back to that album a whole lot. I liked it when it came out, and maybe like it's a good album, but for me personally, like I like Daytona so much that when it came out, it was a disappointment to me because I didn't feel like it was as good. But I think it was good. It had some solid joints on there, man. I thought it was a good album, but yeah, maybe the come down from Daytona is what soured me a little bit. I don't know. What about you, man?
Yeah, I would look. I would. It's not my top 5, but I would definitely put it. I would probably say top 10, maybe 10. I would have it at 10. But like you said, I agree with you. I think I was expecting Daytona, and I knew I wasn't gonna get Daytona, but still in my mind, I remember when Daytona hit, and I was just like, damn, all of this shit is fire. Everything sound good, and you know, that album wasn't this. So yeah, man. I thought it was a good album, but my mindset was on Daytona, and it wasn't that.
Yeah. But that's another one I should put in my top. I mean, my honorable mentions for a song that Hear Me Clearly song from Pusha T is another one that I played a whole lot this year, man.
Yeah.
That song is crazy. The beat is insane. One of Kanye's most recent beats. So yeah. So yeah, man. Those are the official Gems and Juice albums of the year, songs of the year. If you ain't checked them yet, check them out. And yeah, that's what we recommend. So there you go. If you got some different lists, if you think we missed some people, let us know. Hit the comments, you know how to reach us, man. Let us know what you think we missed or what you think your picks were for the songs of the year, albums of the year. And yeah, we'll discuss that as well, man. So with that said, other things we gotta speed run some things. We missed a whole lot of stuff, man. So we gotta recap some topics from this past week, and we'll start. I guess let's revisit this whole Deion Sanders thing, man. Okay, Deion Sanders, of course. Now this is funny because we had a discussion with Matt Hatter on the podcast a couple Wednesdays ago, and he was asking if we thought Deion Sanders was going to leave, and we said yeah. And he said, you know, why? He has enough money. And I told him you could always have more money.
Yeah. And I think I might have said he ain't going to no damn Colorado.
None of us we didn't think he was going to Colorado.
I know. I think I might have said he's not going to Colorado.
You did.
Like, why would he go to Colorado? I think I might have that might have came out my mouth.
You did. Now I remember because I agreed. I didn't think he was going to go to I thought he was going to be a big school. You said Florida State. I thought that made sense.
Yeah.
But he went to Colorado, man.
Yeah.
Everything we predicted was true except what school he would go to. He's going to Colorado. He's leaving Jackson State. He made a statement about it recently. He's doing a Deion Sanders thing. It's been a hot topic because he has been there are sellout allegations going around. The black people feel certain types of ways about it. There's one side of people who believe that he did what he could for them. He brought the program up. Now he should be able to go get more money elsewhere. Other people think that he kind of sold them a dream that he didn't really follow through on. People think he should have stayed longer to uplift the whole system and not just himself while he was there. And that he really could have boosted HBCUs as a whole. But he left for the first PWI that gave him a lot of money. So, what do you think about this, Figgy? Is Deion Sanders a sellout or not?
Nah, I don't think so, man. I think
how many lashes did Deion Sanders get in your eyes?
I mean, what?
How many lashes? Have you seen that video?
Nah.
You haven't seen that video, dog. There's a video of Dr. Umar with a belt. And he's saying,
yeah,
5,000 lashes for what Snow Bunny loving Shannon Sharp for what he said about Kyrie Irving, and he snapped the belt.
I think he got a lot, man.
Yeah. So, what do you think about this whole thing, man?
I think, look, man, I think a lot of coaches do this. A lot of coaches, they commit to a school. They say they'll never leave. They're here for life and all this other stuff. And then they get another opportunity and they dip. So I think he did that, man. Look, he didn't have to go to Jackson State, man. And he went there. I didn't think he was even interested in coaching. And he actually went there. I think he lived there. He did what he did. He put that school on the map. ESPN went out to that school for college game day. I don't think they ever been there before. And yeah, man, look, man, he at the end of the day, I don't like people always say he got enough money. You could never have enough money. If another school offer him $6 million and this school is only giving them $2 million, he gonna go to get the $6 million. Like, look, man, he did what he did at that school. Now his son is going to Colorado, so I thought it made perfect sense. Would I want him to, stick around in Jackson State for a couple more years? Maybe. But I think he did a good job there. He got some people to go there. And if he want to leave, I have no problem with that, man. Because look, a lot of people, honestly, I think he could have got a job at a regular college if he wanted to. Maybe not like a big school, not Florida State or nothing, but I'm sure he could have went to a regular school and did his thing there and kept it moving. But he went to Jackson State, so I have no issue with that. I do have an issue with people feel like he need to stay there forever. Like, damn, like this dude got a family, he got a son. Let that man do what he want to do, man, because he ain't have to be there. So I had no problem with him leaving. He didn't quit and say, I'm done with this and I'ma just go roll in my millions. Like he's still moving on, man. So I kind of like this Deion Sanders, the coach guy. Like I don't care for his little speeches in the locker room, but I kind of like him the way he's moving. I'm really intrigued by it because now you start to see these bigger colleges keeping an eye on him because I don't think people was that serious about him, being a coach. So now you had people like, oh, maybe he could end up at A&M, or oh, maybe he could end up at Florida State. So now they take it a little more serious. And I think he did help the city of Jackson, Jackson City, or I don't even know how you promote, just Jackson, I guess. Jackson, Mississippi. He helped out Jackson, Mississippi. And I can't be mad at that, man. I can't sit here and pout and be like, oh no, like he's supposed to commit. It's a bunch of white college, white coaches that just dip out and leave all the time. So I think that's the way of the business in the NCAA. So salute to him, man. I hope he have a successful time in Colorado. I'm a little disappointed with the Colorado though.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is in Colorado? But his son committed there, so I guess it makes sense. So I guess he'll be coaching his son.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are points on both sides. My whole thing has always been like, look, I've grown up knowing who Deion Sanders is, and I've grown up knowing the type of persona he's put out in front of the media. So I was shocked that people thought he suddenly became Martin Luther King. Like, I was shocked that people actually thought he was gonna try to uplift black people in the system. Like, Deion always been about Deion, man. Deion, he was rapping at one point. He was singing, had a song called "Must Be the Money."
Must be the money.
He was doing the most, and it was pre-social media, and he was doing the most. It's always been about Deion Sanders, man. If you watch the content he was putting out for the program, it was always centered around him. It was always centered around the people who were hating on him. Hey, look at me walking through the opposing field and they coaches, and look what they say to me, but I don't care. I'm going to keep it pushing because I'm a baller. Like, okay, man. Shit like that. It was self-promotion, and it was obvious what he was doing. So I'm not surprised he left. I'm not surprised he took the bag. It's just, I'm more surprised people actually thought he was gonna uplift the whole system and be like an MLK type figure for black people, man. He's Deion Sanders, man.
Yeah.
He's always been an entertaining guy, but he's always been like a self-serving guy as well. You know, Bomani Jones made some points about the fact that why he took the Jackson State job in the first place. He didn't want to be an assistant. And that was probably the only school that would take him on as a first-time head coach for a program. And now sense. He's going to Colorado because that's probably the only school that'll take him and pay him that much.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It does. I mean, you're going from a HBCU to a school of like a 1.2% black population. Like, only black people are on the sports teams, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're going from the blackest school to the whitest school, like literally. So you can clearly, he has no social serving agenda. Clearly, he's not trying to uplift the race per se. He is trying to uplift himself and his family, and that's his prerogative, man. I for that. I don't look for these black celebrities to fucking save us, man. I just don't personally. So I don't care. But it is funny how people act like Jackson State can keep what they had going without Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
He left the blueprint. What is the blueprint he left?
Yeah.
Deion Sanders and have a bunch of attention on you. Yeah. No other coach who can come in there, no other coach, period, can go around acting like Deion Sanders did at Jackson State, man.
Yeah.
Shitting on other coaches, talking like he was talking, and talking about the school in general and how bad they are and their facilities and all that shit. Only Deion Sanders had the clout to do shit like that, man. Nobody else can come with the swag he had and be accepted. So I don't know what they mean by he left the blueprint, because nobody is going to be able to come and follow what Deion Sanders did at Jackson State.
And honestly, I think Deion Sanders did a lot, but man, like at the end of the day, man, we got to be honest with each other, man. I love HBCUs, man. If I went to college, I would have went to. I probably would have went to one. But man, these PWIs, they running the game, man. So I think Tab made a good point. He had Jackson State undefeated, which is good, man. They college game day went out there to him, but I think it's but so far they can get, man. Like it's unfortunate. I wish it wasn't like that, but man, I don't think it will ever get to a point where they're gonna be in the same breath or the same sentence as like a Texas A&M, who, by the way, wasn't even that good this year. I just think it's so much money invested into these PWIs. You got all type of different boosters and stuff like that, money, opportunity. So, I think he did leave Jackson State in a better place. As far as the blueprint, I don't know what that means. I don't know. Maybe more people would consider going there. More athletes consider going there now. I don't know. But with the NILs and all that stuff, man, I just think it's hard for HBCUs to be on the map when it comes to sports. Just like be in the same census as other big colleges like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough regardless, but he did what he had to do. The kids didn't seem too brokenhearted about it. They spoke positively about it. I think they understand. So, yeah, it was funny when he was leaving. He told them not to jump in the transfer portal. He said, "Don't think y'all all that because y'all undefeated." But yeah, he's Deion Sanders, man. He's gonna do what Deion Sanders does, and he's an entertaining guy. You know what you're getting when you get him. I don't know if he can turn around a school like Colorado, but I think if he does, he will have jobs lined up from here to wherever if he can turn that school around. But we'll see, man.
I'm curious because when he first took this Jackson State job, I thought it was gonna be like a bit where he just do it for a little bit and then go back to TV or go back to whatever he was doing. I'm kind of curious, like, do he really want to do this? So let's say the Colorado job go well. They end up becoming ranked somehow. And is he looking to move to a bigger college? Is he just gonna take this coaching thing to the next level, or he just messing around with it, man? Because it's really intriguing. I never thought I'd see Deion Sanders coaching.
Yeah, same here.
Because this dude had a reality show, with his family. He was on NFL Network cutting up. He prime time, man. He would just he ain't got to do a damn thing. And the last thing I thought he was going to be doing was coaching. So I'm kind of curious what the future is for Deion Sanders as far as coaching.
I think with everything else in his life, he'll do it until he don't want to do it anymore. Yeah. I think he'll take it as far as he can on the college level. He's already said he don't want to go to the NFL. And I can't see him being in the NFL, man.
No, man.
That's not going to work.
Yeah.
The way he talks is not going to fly in an NFL locker room.
And I think
he admitted that. Yeah.
He know it.
He basically said, I don't know how to coach somebody who making millions. He's talking about he wants to. That. Yeah. So that wouldn't work. But I could see him being a coach of a big college, man. I could see him taking it there. And if he can turn his program around, he'll have jobs lined up for him, man. But
yeah, it's crazy because not only did he change Jackson State, but even other colleges were like, he was like the man. Like whenever they go on the road, places would sell out because Jackson State was coming to town. Like I wish I would have knew ahead of time, but he came here to TSU, and I would love to go to that game just because. And I never
Yeah,
went
that
to.
was the week Takeoff got killed
Yeah,
because
that's
he
what
was
he
making
told
that
him.
video and all that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that game was sold out too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, I would have went to that game if I knew ahead of time. And I don't be going to no TSU games, but I think just him being prime time helped that city a lot, man.
No, it did, man. It had them on college game day and everything. So,
Yeah,
no, I
so I
mean,
can't be mad. I can't be sitting here mad at him because he went to Colorado.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he did what he felt he had to do, man. I don't really care either way. Honestly, I really didn't. I don't know why people bought into this idea that he really wanted to uplift this entire system and change everything. He's Deion Sanders, man. He's not fucking Marcus Garvey, dog. let's let's let it go with some of these celebrities and acting like they're supposed to lead us to the promised land, man. They're not.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Other things that happened this week. Oh yeah, speaking of Takeoff, they found the guy who allegedly murdered him. It is a HPD had a press conference. They announced it. 2 men were arrested. One for the murder, another for I guess having a weapon at the time. But yeah, the man was named DJ Pat. DJ from, of course, the Houston area. I forget the details of his background, but basically he was a club DJ. They didn't really say what he was doing there or who he was affiliated with, but they found him, and this flies in the face of a lot of conspiracy theories that were flying around the internet. Everybody was wrong about it. DJ Academics was wrong. Everybody there wild shit talking about Quavo brother killed, like, oh, one of the crazy shit around the internet, and none of it was true. And the police said they found the evidence through forensics. They got fingerprints on a wine bottle as well as gun residue and all this stuff. They had to go in a lab for it. It wasn't like, I've seen this as well too. People saying, "Oh, Mob Ties just gave these are the fall guys from Mob Ties." They found these guys. They didn't turn themselves in. They found these guys using evidence that they had to cook up in the lab. So it's not no conspiracy theory. There was no front fall guy that Mob Ties put out there. So yeah. Tab, you on that shit too, man. I see Tab on the conspiracy shit. You say, I don't see how they're gonna pin the Takeoff shooting to him. Police obviously have some sort of evidence, but I don't know. Interesting to see how it plays out. Yeah, they do have evidence, man. Nobody came out to talk. That's one thing they admitted as well on the press conference. Like, all the people there, 50 people in the fucking party were there when Takeoff got killed. Nobody came forward to talk, really. So they had to get this through evidence. They had all the shit, camera footage, everything they had to piece together, and they believe they have their guy. I don't know if he's confessed to it or not. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, man, I think it might be a case closed at this point. I don't know. We'll see. But Figgy, what do you think about this whole thing, man?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. I was kind of leaning towards what Tad was talking about too, because just seeing the reaction when everyone found out who it was, and apparently he was a pretty popular guy in Houston, and a lot of people know him, and just seeing the comments when they put his face out there, everybody was like, "Pat, no, man, this gotta be lies," or "No, this ain't true," and I don't know the guy at all, so I ain't about to sit here and cape for him and say he ain't do this. But just from the reaction from people, it seemed like he wasn't even that type of guy. But people that know him could be biased or probably are biased. But that's the reaction I seen whenever it was announced that he was the person that killed Takeoff. So honestly, man, I don't know what to think, man. This is crazy. I don't think he was in any other videos. I don't think people saw any him in the videos at all. So I really don't know what to think, man. Maybe there probably was his fingerprints on the wine glass or the wine bottle and the gun residue, all that stuff. But this shit is bizarre, man. Like I would have never thought it was this. And then, and especially, I don't know if it's because of the internet detectives or what, but remember it was another dude. It seemed like they were trying to pin it on the dude from Fifth Ward or something, Fifth Ward Cam or something. It seemed like he was about to go down for it, but come to find out he was already facing the charge, a gun charge or something, which was weird because one of the news outlets actually reported that, and that was kind of, I'm like, man, that's kind of weird for Fox News to write an article about that, saying the guy they think killed Takeoff is in jail for a gun charge. And that's kind of weird because you don't really get news stations tweeting stuff like that. It's usually more of the say cheese outlets and shit. But so I was actually shocked that this guy was the I guess allegedly the killer. So I honestly don't know what to think, man. We've been talking about court cases and trial and evidence and all this other stuff all night. And to me, this is another twist. I don't think it's just a plain and simple, this guy did it and that's it. But this was super strange, man. And I believe it. Maybe that's why it took so long to get somebody, because nobody was talking. But it's just hard for me to not think that maybe mob ties or somebody got some hookups in the back where they throwing somebody to the wolves and having them take the fall. It's hard for me to I can't just hear that and say you're ridiculous. I can't help but to I can't help not to think that. But this whole situation is bizarre, man. And if he the one that did it, man, I hope he, spend the rest of his life in jail, man, because Takeoff should still be with us. But it just seemed kind of weird, man. Like I said, the reaction on the internet when they found out it was him was like, wow, like he ain't even that type of person. Or he ain't even no violent person. He don't be walking around with no guns, and he ain't even about that life type thing. So that's what made me think like, like maybe like is it a little conspiracy thing going on, or they trying to throw somebody to the wolves, or they trying to cover up for somebody? So that's what made me think of that. Now that's what made me think of that. So I really don't know, but this shit is crazy, and I don't think it's far from over.
Yeah, I mean, you have to keep in mind that Takeoff was killed by accident.
Yeah.
It's not like a stone cold murderer was trying to kill him.
Yeah.
Somebody was just letting off shots in the air and something hit Takeoff.
I think that's what made it worse, man.
Yeah.
That this guy wasn't even involved with what was going on. And this ain't a thing where two people got into it, somebody ended up dead. And it's like, well, he shouldn't have did that. He was at the wrong, he should have stopped talking shit. So I think this would make the whole situation even harder and even worse.
Yeah, I'm doing some research again too. They said detectives on the case alleged Clark had the guy DJ Pat had a gun in one hand and a wine bottle in another when he was caught on camera firing the weapon. Those bullets allegedly struck Takeoff. Fingerprints on a wine bottle are what detectives say helped identify Clark to the authorities. They went on to say that Clark searched for information about the case online and also searched his name and age in relation to the case. His attorney claims he did not know he was a prime suspect in the rapper's death. And yeah, I think he was put at like $1 million bond. And apparently he was searching for tickets to leave America online.
Yeah, I heard that.
So yeah, I mean, look, anything could happen, I guess, but the mob ties must be on some Illuminati type shit to set all this up on a fall guy like that. That's all I'm saying. But look, the trial will happen and we'll see. But yeah, just a sad situation, man. That's why you shouldn't play with guns, dog. Shit's not
Yeah.
cool. Anything could happen, and now people's lives are ruined because of it. So, yeah, sad, depressing.
Yeah.
Other things to talk about. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, how you feel about Diddy? This whole thing about Diddy, man. Diddy apparently had a baby with a some woman who is not Young Miami, who he has been romantically linked with, but has never said that's his girlfriend, and Young Miami has never said that's her boyfriend, but they have been in some type of relationship. And of course, Carisha has she had the Carisha Please show on Revolt as well. So she's linked with Diddy business wise and personal wise. But yeah, he had a baby on her, apparently. It was some other woman. And now apparently he's dating somebody else. And I guess Young Miami got really upset by people talking about how she got cheated on. And she kind of went on a whole Twitter rant talking shit about DJ Academics and a lot of people. Do you have any thoughts about this in particular, Figgy?
Yeah, I was kind of confused, man, because I seen that happen. I was kind of interested in the girl he had a baby with, man. Because
She
the
was like
girl,
I think like his massage something. I forget who that was,
I thought
man.
she was like a some type of
I saw like
nerd.
IT tech person. Yeah,
Some type of nerd hacker or something like that.
she's a 28-year-old cybersecurity specialist.
yeah, I was more interested in that. I'm like, dang,
Yeah,
how the
she's
hell
fine as
did he
hell
meet
too.
her?
She looked like Nicole Scherzinger like
Oh yeah,
12 years ago.
yeah,
Damn.
yeah, but I don't know. I
Oh,
mean,
and the baby's name, for God's sake, the baby's name is Love Sean Combs.
oh goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, man, I'm not even surprised, man. To me, I feel like Diddy is one of the guys that can do whatever he want. I wouldn't be surprised if he had the women he get with sign some type of contract
Mm-hmm.
where let him do whatever he want and they can't expose him or something. Because like, when was the last time Diddy even had like some serious girl problems where some messy public breakup where it just got out of control? It seemed like whoever he with, they just let him do whatever he want to do, and he kind of controlled the narrative no matter what. Because this would have been the perfect. Because look, city girls, they get on the internet and be talking crazy. Like we see JT arguing, talking shit about old boy Lil Uzi every fucking other week.
Mm-hmm.
And for Carisha to just kind of downplay it a little bit and defend it, to me that said a lot. So maybe it's in her contract, or maybe she just being smart about it by not giving two fucks about it, because she know what it is, and he helping her out a lot and she getting the bag. So maybe she know what it is, man. So that's how I kind of took it. So I noticed a lot of people ain't calling her stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Because anybody else, if that happened to anybody else, they would have been like, "Oh, she's stupid," and he making a fool of her and all that stuff. But it's Diddy, so I think people kind of know the type of person Diddy is. So they kind of looking at her as like, "Hey, get that money." We know what it is. Get that money.
Yeah. I mean, people calling her a side chick. Diddy actually went online to clarify this as well. He said, Young Miami is not my side chick, never has been, never will be. She's very important to me and special to me, and I don't play about my shouty wop. Diddy saying shouty wop is wild regardless. It's a New York nigga talking like this. I don't discuss things on the internet, and I will not start today. So think what you want. but know that if you do something to hurt mine, I'm gonna come to your house and we're gonna talk about it like human beings. Love. So yeah, if he's gonna show up to your house if you keep talking about Young Miami, and even DJ Academics backed up after that. So yeah, you're gonna send the goons. Tab asks, question: how much do y'all think Diddy be giving for child support? Seems like they will keep it out the courts, hopefully. Yeah, I'm sure he gives them all the bad boy artist royalties. You probably all the G Dep, all the Craig Mack, all the Carl Thomas money that they should have been getting goes to his kids. So yeah, take that, take that, take that. I'm sure that's why another niggas get paid, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, but no, I'm sure he pays child support, man.
He probably on that Nick Cannon type of situation.
I don't see how Nick Cannon makes enough to pay child support for all them kids at this point, man. Like, I know he's rich, but he's not a billionaire.
So do you think he's on child support? Because I don't think he's paying child support. Because
I think he's paying the money.
I think he's looking out for him, giving them money. But it's not like a Kanye West situation where he got to pay $1 million.
Yeah. So he's not. I'm sure he's not under like.
If it was like that, if it was like that, he'd be fucked.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure it's some type of agreement. And I know this sounds real slimy to say, but he probably got the women signing contracts before he had kids with them. You will not put me on child support. I would take, I would look out for you doing this, doing that. And that's how he probably rolling. I'm guessing Diddy might be the same way because, man, them women would have been put him on child support.
Yeah. No, I'm sure he strikes me as somebody who take care of his kids, man.
Yeah.
Diddy. So yeah, I'm not surprised by that.
And they'd be set, man, because all his kids, they ain't got to. I don't want to sit there and say they ain't got to do shit, but they can do whatever they want, man. And just because their last name is Combs, they'll be all right. That's kind of like how Russell Simmons' family is. Like all them kids, like I don't even know what the fuck they do, but once in a while they'll come out of nowhere and be like, "Oh yeah, he do this," or "He's the brand ambassador for this," or all that shit, or he have his own record label with this, just off the strength of their fucking uncle. So I think it'd be similar to that.
Yeah. I'm just looking at these fucking Nick Cannon kids, man. Nick Cannon about to have 12 kids now, dog. And their names are fucking crazy.
Why do you think he's doing this?
I've heard all kinds of theories. The most prevailing one, the biggest conspiracy theory I've heard, is that he's trying to do some kind of organ harvesting because he has lupus, an autoimmune disease, and he might need some kind of transfusion or organ transfer at some point to keep living. And I don't understand how he's gonna make his kids give up their organs, man. But that's one thing I've heard. Another thing I've just heard, he doesn't think he has a lot of time left, so he wants to leave some kind of legacy.
That's what I was
behind. I've heard that as well.
Yeah, that's what I was more thinking. Maybe he knows something we don't about his health. And
I think that's probably most likely. I think because people have said like he has lupus, he might not have a lot of time to live. So I think that's possible as well. But yeah, these are crazy names, man. Monroe, Moroccan, Golden, Powerful, Zion, Zillion, Zen, Legendary, Onyx, Rise, and Beautiful Zeppelin. Those are the names of his kids.
Damn.
Wow. Well,
I wish I was rich.
I know, right? You can afford to name your kid something like Powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's wild. So yeah, shout out to them, man.
Yeah.
Other things to talk about. Are you ready to finally review? We never did this. We can finally review the long-awaited Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I finally watched it. I know you watched it like the first week. I took a
Yeah,
while, but I finally did watch it. And I also wanted to wait till everybody got a chance so we wouldn't spoil anything. But I think that's all done. I think if anybody wanted to see the movie, they've seen it by now. So we're gonna talk about the whole thing, man.
yeah.
Figgy, what were your thoughts about this movie, man? Were you let down? Were you disappointed? Were you satisfied by what you saw on the screen?
So, so I actually was satisfied with the girl who played Black Panther's girlfriend or baby mama, I guess. I feel like she looked good, man.
Yeah.
I feel like she should have had a little more of
Wait,
a role.
Lupita? Who?
Lupita, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Lupita.
yeah.
Yeah, I got a thing for her. She looked
Yeah,
good.
she got a fatty in this movie, man. Like, where'd that come from?
She always had it, to be honest.
I never noticed.
Yeah,
I guess because she didn't wear no skin tight outfits in the first one.
yeah. But yeah, so the movie overall, man, I wouldn't say it was a horrible movie because I felt like it was more of a tribute.
Mm-hmm.
It was more of a tribute. I felt like it started off kind of sad, which I was kind of expecting. And I'm like, damn, like this is I thought it was rough because how sad it was and knowing the real situation that happened. Um I thought the way they killed off Chadwick Boseman in the movie, I thought that was cool. They they just say he had a sickness and he, passed away unexpectedly. I like the way they did that storyline because that was one of my main reasons for watching this movie too, is see how they, how they get him off the movie. And I was fine with that. I was just hoping it wasn't he just left and never came back, or he was killed in action or something. So, I was fine with that. As far as the movie overall though, just I felt like they did the best they can do, man. It was no real star in this movie. I thought it was a possibility somebody might, rise as a star where you'd be like, okay, damn, this person did their thing. I didn't really see anybody. It seemed like it was a whole bunch of role players, and they was just trying to get through the movie to, to get to the end. That's how it felt to me. Angela Bassett, I'm surprised they killed her off. I was actually shocked, but I was kind of happy, but kind of shocked that they killed her off. As far as the, I'm trying to think what else. As far as the, so the sister, I forgot her name, but the sister,
Shuri?
Shuri, yeah, I'm not that big of a fan of her, man. Like I thought she was cool in the role she played in the first one, because she wasn't like the main one, but she would pop in, say a little joke here, punch him in the arm here and there, kind of that brother sister bond. But I really wasn't a fan of her in this movie, man. I felt like she was a little too much. I felt like this her with the villain guy. I felt like that was a little bit strange. I ain't really like the way that beef sparked, because it seemed like they was kind of cool for a minute, and once she broke out, then that's when all hell broke loose. Where I'm just like, man, like this is fucking Mickey Mouse. Like, what is, like, first of all, why is the guy that mad over the girl leaving? And then second of all,
You
you,
kidnapped the queen of a nation, and then one
yeah,
of the guards, they busted out when the guards got killed, and now you want
yeah,
to go to war.
yeah,
Like they wasn't gonna try to save her.
yeah, and then you killed my mama. So it's just like, what the hell is going on here? And two, I'm look, man, I don't know that much about the Marvel universe, so I ain't read the comic book, so I don't know anything about that guy. But this guy, look, they try to pump him up like he Thanos or some shit. And this dude was lame as hell, man. Like, dog, for real. Look at him. Like, how could you take him that serious?
With them little fucking wings on his
Like,
feet.
nigga was look too
Yeah,
damn
man.
smooth for me, man. Like, nigga look like he about to go sing something. Like he's
Yeah, like a
R&B
member of
singing.
Shalimar. Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
So it was kind of hard to take that guy serious, man. And so it ended, I guess. It was just super strange. It seemed like, to me, overall, it seemed like the movie was a tribute to Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther, but they had to throw a little storyline in there to, to make sense, because it can't be all about Chadwick Boseman and crying and all that stuff. But it seemed like that little storyline they just threw in there because they had to have something in there. And to me, it just didn't make sense, man. It seemed like this movie can just disappear and we'll be just fine. I had no reason to go back to it. I seen a lot of people saying it was the best one. It was better than one, which I think is insane. And I like one a lot. And I don't think
Black
one is
Panther one, yeah.
yeah, I don't think Black Panther 1 is the best Marvel movie or anything like that. It's pretty generic. It kind of got a Lion King feel to it. So, it ain't nothing, it ain't no crazy plot twist or nothing like that. But I felt like Chadwick Boseman did a really good job in it. And but this one, man, it's really pointless. Like, it did, like, the very end of it, when they showed the next little scene at the very end after the credits, and they showed that he have a son and all that stuff. That part didn't really get me excited at all. It's like what do this mean? Like, look, man, Black Panther not going to be the same because of Chadwick Boseman. So now are we going to carry the story out a little more and just pass it off to a son, and AKA just get somebody else the Black Panther, another actor, have him play Black Panther and call it a day? I just, man, I look, it was cool. Like I said, the tribute was beautiful. I was good with the tribute, but as far as the movie overall, I just wasn't a fan of it. Honestly, the shocking part about it was, to me, was seeing Michael B. Jordan back in it for that hot little second. At that point, I'm like, oh shit, okay. I thought he was about to, come back from the dead or whatever. But that was the part that kind of woke me up a little bit. But outside of that, man, outside of the tribute, the beautiful tribute, I didn't really care for this movie, man.
Yeah, man, I do agree. I heard people being really up on it at first, but when I saw it, I was just like, I can't say it's a bad movie, man. There's things you can pick apart. There's a lot of stuff that didn't make sense in it, but I can't say it was a bad movie. At times it felt like I was watching something on a Disney Channel, like the little super genius black girl who made the Iron Man suit that looked like a piece of shit at the that was like, why was that even in the movie, man? Like, what point did she have to do with Wakanda, period? I know they try to tie it in like, ooh, she was the brains behind the super advanced machine that they used to find vibranium. So now the underwater people want to kill her. But it's like, it just felt like they was trying to sell action figures, man.
This kind of thing, like, this should have been a plot in the video game.
Yeah, or like a TV show, like a Disney Plus show, man. It didn't seem like something that belonged in Black Panther 2. It was just very strange, and it didn't have anything to do with Wakanda, really. It was just like, hey, let's bring this Black American girl so we can get some kids to buy some little dolls and action figures and shit. I don't know. It was weird, man. As far as the acting went, I actually liked Shuri. I think she did a good. The woman who played her, Letitia Wright. I think she did a good job, man, with what she was given. I think she was believable in her scenes. I don't think she was written the best. I feel like they could have. It seemed like the movie should have been about her accepting the Black Panther.
Yeah,
But it just felt like at the end she's like, "Oh, I guess I got to do this."
yeah,
Drank the shit, and now it's like it seemed very tacked on. Or it should have been more of like she learns the responsibility of being the Black Panther and all that shit. But it just happened because it had to happen, and she just did it, and it was like whatever. So I didn't like they killed Angela Bassett, man. Um, Mainly because I feel like you can't have a death like that in a movie where Chadwick Boseman died in real life.
mm,
Because now that's just it was weird to me, man. Because it's like, okay, we made this big deal about Chadwick Boseman's character, but then the Queen of Wakanda dies, and then it's just kind of swept under the rug. Like she don't get that much screen time after she died, and
yeah,
at the very end, Letitia Wright goes to bury the whole heart touching tribute to Chadwick Boseman. I understand, I get it,
yeah,
but in the movie perspective, like your mom just died,
yeah,
and T'Challa been dead for a year. You've had a year to mourn him, and
yeah,
your mama just died, and the tribute at the end is for your brother who's been dead for a year, and not your mother who's been dead for like a day.
yeah,
So
and was killed.
yeah, murdered.
Yeah,
And by the way, you let the nigga who murdered him walk away because
yeah.
he.
Oh goodness.
So, see, the more you think about it, the more it just seemed like a silly movie, man. And I
Yeah,
could pick it apart all day, but ultimately, it was okay. It was an
yeah,
okay movie you can see once and never even think about it again. The worst thing it does is kind of kills the interest in the universe, man. Like,
yeah,
does anybody really want to see a Black Panther 3 now? I remember after Black Panther 1, you couldn't wait to see where the story went.
yeah.
And now it's like, does anybody even want to see another Black Panther movie?
Mm-hmm.
We want
Yeah,
and I was also somebody who didn't think really they should recast the role this quick. But at the end of this movie, I thought about it, man. Think about the cast from Black Panther 1. You had Forrest Whitaker, who's dead.
mm-hmm.
You had Chadwick Boseman, who of course died in real life. You had Daniel Kaluuya, who's
Yeah,
not dead but didn't come back for this movie and
yeah.
probably won't come back.
I think he picked another movie over this one. I
Yeah, and
forgot which movie. Oh, he picked that Nope movie over Black Panther.
yeah. And he probably won't come back to Black Panther. So he's done. You
Yeah,
killed Michael B. Jordan and you killed the Queen.
yeah,
So of all the cast in Black Panther 1, who's left?
yeah,
Shuri, Mbaku guy, and Okoye. Like
yeah,
three of the side characters from the first ones are the only ones left.
yeah. These are role
So
players, pretty much.
at this point, I feel like they should have just rebooted the character.
Yeah,
Because if you just gonna kill off everybody and have nobody left over anyway, you might as well just recast T'Challa so you at least have Black Panther, man.
yeah,
Because I just don't see the point of who wants to see another movie with these three people in it.
yeah. And I think they got it twisted too, because I feel like they look at Shuri as the, maybe she could carry the Black Panther. The other girl, she could carry Black Panther too. And then what's the other? I forgot the other girl. She played in Walking Dead too, the bald one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Okoye. I don't know her
yeah,
real name, but
yeah.
yeah.
They can, they can carry it. And then we got Ubaka, who was a funny guy in the first
Yeah, the
one.
comic relief, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we can give him a bigger role and all that stuff. And it's just like, nah, man. Like look, man, I'm not calling their careers role players, but in this movie specifically, they were role players.
Hmm.
They wasn't top dogs. So I just don't want to see Black Panther. I don't want to see a Black Panther with them as the top dogs.
No, I agree, man. Like you said, the movie was able to ride by being a tribute to Chadwick Boseman. But after this, you can't roll out another Black Panther with this being the main cast, man.
Yes.
Either recast the role, reboot the whole thing, or just leave it alone.
Yeah.
But at this point, it's like and that's how I feel about Marvel. Period, man. Like the thrill is gone with these Marvel movies, man. I feel like the peak was after Endgame. Everything I've seen has been just alright,
Yeah.
just alright.
It was
And
it was tough too because like before when it was Infinity War
mhm,
and how that ended, it was like, oh shit, like we were tense for I forgot
yes,
how long was it, a year or 2 years? We were tense because we didn't know what the fuck was going on.
mhm,
And then the end game came, then we watched that, then it's like, okay, everything good and everything, tied in, put a bow on it. And so now it's like, woo, it's all good. Now I was still tied in. I'm still invested. I'll still go watch whatever, but
mhm,
like the thrill is gone, man. Iron Man is dead. They wrapped up the storylines and all that stuff. So now it's like I'm not really that pressed anymore. I'm not sitting on the edge of my seat. They ain't leave a cliffhanger where I'm
yeah,
like, shit, I gotta go see what happened. This shit
yeah.
is crazy.
I'm just I can't get up for a fucking Anthony Mackie Captain America, man. I'm sorry. I can't do it, dog. I try to support black actors and black people, but I'm not gonna pay money to
That
see that,
silly
dog.
ass face he be doing.
Come on, man. Come on, man. They're gonna make a Don Cheadle Iron Man next. That's how I know they're at the fucking bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dog. So yeah, I don't know what Marvel's gonna do, man. I feel like the peak they peaked. We'll see.
Yeah,
But
and then shoot, and then we talked about it before the Chris Hemsworth
yeah, he's
taking a
about to be
break.
done. Yep.
Yeah, so that's Thor. I felt like that was their money maker right there because everybody fucked with Thor. So I
Yeah.
don't know what they gonna do. I don't know if they gonna have the woman Thor take over,
I
which
don't
I
I,
don't think it's gonna be a good idea.
my theory is I think I said this on the podcast already. I think they're doing all this multiverse stuff because I think they're gonna recast everybody. I
Mm,
think they're gonna bring back Iron Man. I think they're gonna bring back like the white Captain America and just say, hey, these are different universe, but this is the new Avengers. Because think about it, like how can they just give up on Iron Man? Because Robert
yeah,
Downey Jr. don't want to do it no more.
yeah.
That's too big of a character just to have dead forever. So they
Mhm.
gonna bring back some new little young guy who probably don't want that much money and have him be like the new Iron Man and
Yeah,
build a universe around that. But I can't see them just having these characters dead. Like I think they're gonna recast Black Panther. I don't think they're just
yeah.
gonna have him be dead and that be it. So
And especially
that's how
with
I
the
feel it's gonna
money is
go.
making,
Yeah.
they ain't just gonna let that money sit there like that.
You can't just have these characters be gone. You can't have Thor be gone. You can't have fucking Captain America be gone.
Yeah.
So I think that's what they're gonna do. We'll see. They got the rights to the X-Men. We'll see how that shit goes. Other comic book news. I thought it was funny that The Rock made that shit with the Superman guy coming back and then he didn't come back. Did you see about that?
Nah.
So the guy who played Superman had a cameo. The Rock had that movie, The Black Adam.
Yeah.
And at the end of the movie, the guy who played Superman in Justice League showed up at the end credit scene, Henry Cavill or Cavill, how you say his name. And he made an announcement saying, I'm back as Superman. And The Rock was like, I made this happen. We went around this, we made it happen. We made sure it happened. And then, like a few days ago, they announced that a new guy, James Gunn, who did Marvel stuff, is taking over all the DC movies. And then they announced that Henry Cavill is not going to be back as Superman.
Damn.
So they did all that shit for nothing, man. So
Damn.
these comic book movies are washed, in my opinion, man. It's time to get something else. Some
Yeah.
other nerd shit.
Yeah. Good luck with finding that.
Yeah, I know, right? So other things that happened real quick. What else? Any new Kanye news? Oh yeah, did we talk about that already? The Kim Kardashian sleeping with Chris Brown tweet.
Chris Paul.
Chris Paul, my bad. Chris Paul,
Yeah.
Chris Brown. Yeah, that was something. Kanye got banned off of Twitter again.
Yeah.
A lot of people are getting banned off of Twitter, but despite it being like a free speech, supposedly
Yeah.
app,
But,
Elon kind of getting loose with the ban hammer now.
yeah, Twitter been going insane
It
since
has.
he bought it, man. There's no more spaces now.
He said he brought it back.
Did he bring it back today?
He said, yeah.
Oh, it wasn't back this morning.
Maybe you got to update. He put out a tweet. He
Oh,
said
it is
Spaces
back. I
are
see it
back.
now. Yeah, I see it now.
Spaces is back. So yeah, they're back. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Twitter, man.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good idea to have the owner fucking tweet this much about stupid bullshit. But
yeah, and this sucked because my blue verified account don't mean a damn thing now.
well, you can. I mean, at least you can flex the fact that it's legit blue and not I bought Twitter blue.
Yeah, but it's still stupid, man. Because I'll be looking like right now.
Nobody's got blue checks and shit. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, like right now, I just got a tweet from somebody with a blue check. I'm thinking like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went to the page. This person got 39 followers and following 115.
How you gonna buy Twitter if you only got 39 followers, man?
Yeah, shout out to him, man, because he followed me, and I think he probably a listener.
Mm-hmm.
But I perked up like, oh shit, who is this? Because I always perk up whenever I see a blue check. But now it's just like anybody can have a blue check.
That's one thing I've noticed. A lot of like podcasters and wannabe reporters are buying a Twitter blue so they look legit when they make tweets about fucking sports shit and make it look like it's like somebody important saying it. And it's like, nah, man, you're Joe Blow, dog. Sorry.
I like, look, man, we got a podcast, Twitter podcast page or a page for the podcast too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not paying for that, man. Like, nope.
Yeah, man, ain't gonna happen.
Yeah,
ain't gonna happen. But yeah, we'll see what happens with Twitter, man. Other things, real quick. Let me see. Oh yeah, the Jerry Jones thing. I forgot all about that. How you feel about the kid from Akron and his statement about why didn't you ask me about Jerry Jones in that picture? You know, I've been in this league for a long time. I watched Godfather 18 times in a row. I read the autobiography of Malcolm X 18 times in a row. I know about everything, guys. So why don't you ask me about all the world issues?
y'all ask me.
You asked me about Kyrie.
This is his thing, yeah. Y'all asked me about Kyrie, but y'all ain't asked me about the Jerry Jones pick. Like, how is that the same thing? Like, that's two totally different things, man. Like,
one is a player who played with you.
Yes.
Another one
that's currently in the NBA.
Yes.
And something else is, and the other thing is an owner for the NFL team.
A different league than what you play for.
Yeah.
A guy you're not even friends with, and a team you don't even support no more.
Yes.
So why do we care what LeBron had to say about the Jerry Jones picture?
Yeah, so you want NBA reporters that focus strictly on the NBA to ask you about a picture of an NFL owner back in 1955.
This is what I hate, like, because now I don't think LeBron really realized what he did here when he said that, because ever since the George Floyd thing, I always cringe when they like try to force these athletes to have social justice opinions or opinions on things going on in the world. Like, if you want to talk about that, fine. Yeah. But I don't really care what fucking fucking anybody, Kyrie, I don't care what fucking Steph Curry thinks about the voting laws. Yeah. Like, I don't care what NBA players think about politics in general. I don't care what they think about a picture of Jerry Jones at a fucking integration fucking school protest thing. Like I don't
Yeah.
really care. But ask current Cowboy players that. I want to know what they think because I think it'll be funny to hear with their opinions.
Yeah.
But I don't care what LeBron has to say about these things, man. Why is LeBron trying to paint himself? I know he's more than an athlete.
Yeah.
He won't just shut up and dribble. But he's not fucking Malcolm X, man. I don't look to him for these kind of commentary.
Yeah. See, my thing is like these reporters are there to do their jobs, man. Like they're not there to ask you, all the shit that's going on in the world. Now they have been doing that,
Yes.
and I don't think they should be doing that. I know it's hard to focus on the game in 2020, but I think if the athletes really wanted to talk about, bring awareness and talk about, injustice and all this other stuff, like you bring it up. Bring it up before you take questions. Jump up there and be like, "Hey, before y'all ask any questions, I just want to bring awareness, blah 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 blah," and and then go from there. But yeah, man, I think these reporters need to just focus on their jobs and call it that. Like, not like so now when like, do they need to ask what? Do they need to talk about Brittany Griner more now? Do they need to talk about some random thing that happened in
You
politics
just know what
now?
they think about the war in Ukraine, man. Somebody asked LeBron about how do you feel about what's going on with the Zelensky.
And see, look, and see, this is where I can't even defend the LeBron here because he opening up all of this shit.
Mhm.
Like talk about y'all don't ask me about this, so now people gonna be asking you some random shit that you probably have no idea what's going on, and that shit gonna make you look stupid if you don't know what's going on or you give a answer you wasn't really prepared for. So man, look, man, people just need to stick to sports, man. Like just mind your business. If you got something to say, you can come out and say it, but like don't be like these reporters there to ask basketball questions and keep it moving, man.
And another thing people got to keep in mind, like reporters want to ask questions that could get an interesting response.
Yeah.
What can politically correct ass LeBron James really say about that picture? We already know he's going to say, it just shows you have a long way to go. It shows the history of our country and, some bad things that happened. But, we got a long way to go. And some of these things still exist today. But we got a long way to go. And hopefully we can work together to get there. Like, that's the type of shit he would say. We know exactly what LeBron is going to say. He's not going to say nothing too controversial. Every time he does, he gets raked over the coals for it. So we know he's not going to be too controversial. He ain't going to come out and say, fucking, that white devil, Jerry Jones, should be kicked
They
out the
all racist
NFL.
and all that stuff.
Yeah. So,
And he's a Cowboys fan too.
and he has his fucking, like, we can hear these opinions on his show, The Shop.
Yeah.
Okay. If I want to hear what LeBron James thinks about that picture, I'm sure he would answer that on his own platform.
Yeah.
I don't need to hear what an NBA reporter asked LeBron James about that during an NBA game press conference.
Yeah.
So you act like he has no other way to get this information out besides being asked about it by a reporter.
Yeah. And my thing
strange.
And like I said, these reporters don't really roll like that, man. They usually stick to the script. Like we ain't see no NFL reporters as a quarterback about Kyrie Irving and the whole Jewish thing. No, like that don't even make sense. Like, how would that make sense if somebody asked Davis Mills about how he felt about Kyrie Irving and that whole situation? That don't even make sense. So no, just let them do their job, man, and just I don't know, man. They sometimes these athletes kind of confuse me because one moment they be so upset with the reporters and all they do is this, all they do is that, and then it's like they won't now they want them to ask other questions about these touchy subjects.
Mhm.
Like, man, just let them do their jobs, man. Just let them ask the on the court questions and keep it moving.
Yeah, no, like this. Look, I understand there's important social issues in America, but I just don't need to hear athletes' take on it, man. Personally, like, I just don't care what LeBron thinks about these things. I gotta say, man, just I don't want to say shut up and dribble, but like,
Yeah.
look, if I want to hear these opinions, I'll listen to people who are educated on the topic and have a lot to say about it. I already know what LeBron's going to say about these things, so I don't really care what he has to, what he would any reporter asking him that. And I feel like any reporter that does ask him that is pandering.
Yeah,
Like they're just trying to suck up and look good
yeah.
for LeBron.
And see, this is where I kind of feel bad for the reporters, man, because look, man, I feel like they trying to get in and out, man. They ain't trying to sit there and be the person that ask an awful question or
Mhm.
all this other stuff. Because it was another situation too with Kyrie Irving. It was on I think they played on Thanksgiving, and the
Mhm.
reporter asked him, what is he thankful for on Thanksgiving, or what he got planned for Thanksgiving, something like that. And Kyrie Irving, I felt like he gave a classy answer. He said, hey, so I don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but for those who do, salute to you, and eat some food for me, and you know, all he gave a classy answer.
Mhm.
So I'm like, that's cool, man. But it was a bunch of people mad at the reporter for asking them that. It's like, man, Thanksgiving is like a damn near American holiday at this point, where
Mhm.
people say Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and no matter what you celebrate, what your religion is, and all that. Like that lady, this was like right on the court. This lady just doing her job. She was gonna ask anybody that. So she's supposed to do a background check. And oh yeah, Kyrie Irving, he don't, he's Muslim, so he don't do this. So let me not ask him this. It's a whole. He ain't the first Muslim in the NBA. He ain't the first person that don't celebrate Thanksgiving in the NBA. So it was, to me, people was kind of attacking the reporter a little bit. I'm like, that was honestly a simple, kind of a simple question, and I felt like he gave the right answer to it. He wasn't offended. So I'm like, I don't know why everybody pumping this up like this.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Like sometimes when you're a reporter, you're damned if you do, if you damned if you don't. You know,
Yeah,
why you ask me about this? Ask me about basketball. Why you only asking about basketball? Ask me about this. Come on,
yeah.
man. So yeah, it was ridiculous,
And
but you know,
it's funny because LeBron ain't the only person that was asked about Kyrie. It was a bunch of people,
yeah,
and they said, I, next question, or I don't want to get into all that, and I have no
yeah.
comment on all that. Just keep it moving, man. You
I
ain't got to
think
make
LeBron. I think it was mainly he was. I think he was upset at the answer he had to give about Kyrie because I don't think he wanted to go in on him, but I feel
yeah,
like he was pressured to because LeBron is somebody who's brought to light, injustices, racism, call people out about stuff like that. So he had to say something, and he had to denounce what Kyrie did, but he
yep. And
didn't
then
want to.
he got a lot of backlash for that.
Yeah.
And so he ended up backtracking. He ended up coming out talking about how he really didn't like the punishment or something like that.
Hmm.
So it's like, damn, bro, you was just shitting on him.
Yeah.
Now you saying you don't really like how they treating them and the punishment and all that stuff. And then you get mad because they ain't asking about the Jerry Jones thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and yeah, it was look, it was classic LeBron. That's all I could say. Classic LeBron doing what he does. But I understand why he was unhappy at the fact that he had to do that. The
Yeah.
picture itself, we didn't even talk about that. The picture, I'm not surprised Jerry Jones is at that fucking thing, man.
Yeah,
I'm
like
more surprised he wasn't throwing shit in the picture. Like, are we surprised that Jerry Jones, an old ass white man from
from
Texas, is
from
racist?
Arkansas. He
Yeah.
was in Arkansas.
Like, come on, man.
In 1955, man.
I like the fact that it was a big deal to people was just, why don't we talk about it more? Like, did anybody think Jerry Jones wasn't this type of guy to be? and to be fair, like he was only like he wasn't.
Yeah, he
There was
wasn't
no
on a front
action in the
line like
picture.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't have
So
a little tiki torch or whatever. He was like you had to look far in the back to be like, oh, that's him.
yeah,
And he was
yeah.
just looking.
So yeah,
yeah.
it was a silly little media cycle that whole thing went through. I didn't really care for it. Whatever.
Yeah, I didn't either. And it's funny because it's like, man, like you can interpret this all type of ways. You could interpret this as him being there and being involved, or you could interpret it as him just trying to get into school and just so happen to look to see what was going on outside. Like it's all type of ways. So you can't sit there and say, "Oh yeah, that man, you see what he was doing, right?" Like that dude was just right in the crowd, just looking. So I don't know, man. People spend way too much energy on that.
Yeah, it was a hard week to watch sports media when that shit happened, man, because it was a lot of talk about that bullshit. I was like, whatever, man. Are y'all surprised, really? But whatever.
And then Stephen A. Jerry Jones is a friend.
Yeah, dog. It was funny because I was watching First Take with my parents, and I said exactly what he was gonna say, and he said the exact thing. It was like, Jerry Jones is a personal friend of mine. You know, I've ate lunch with the brother. I've been on planes with the brother. Yeah, that's to say all the things he did with these
been
guys.
on private jets with the brother. I had dinner with the brother. He's a personal friend of mine.
And he's about his business. Like, come on. Like, I knew exactly what Stephen A. Smith was going to say about him before he even started going in on the whole thing. So, yeah, it's whatever, man. But yeah, that was a funny Thanksgiving.
Did you see the Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless argument?
Oh, hell yeah. Man, like, people must not be paying attention because they have this argument like every fucking month. The same one. You don't like Tom Brady. First off, Shannon Sharp goes way over hating on Tom Brady.
Dude, I know that.
Shannon Sharp has always been shitting on Tom Brady for years now. Like Tom Brady, I think they have some kind of agreement on the show where Skip Bayless is like has to be the anti-LeBron and Shannon Sharp is the anti-Tom Brady. So no matter what happens, they got to be shitted on by these guys. Yeah. Brad says, Skip is Skip. He's a punk ass. He definitely is, man. Skip Bayless low-key like ruined sports talk, man. We don't talk about that enough. Like what he's done to sports debate shows and sports takes in general. He's ruined he may be more responsible than anybody for
because you got a lot of people that's trying to be like Skip Bayless at this point.
Take bullshit, man.
Yeah, because because Skip Bayless, I heard a lot about his writing, how he was a damn good writer, but he just took this route where he do this type of shit and don't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a lot of people like I want to put Nick Wright in the conversation because like he says some crazy stuff too, but he at least has he do be backing up his points, but it be geared towards his argument, which is at least he did some research.
LeBron better than Jordan no matter what. Yeah,
but it's a lot of people out there that just be throwing shit at the wall and just trying to create sound bites and all that shit, man. We're just like, man, this it don't even make sense. Like, I can't listen to Skip no more, man. Skip just be talk like to me. It like I'm a LeBron fan, obviously, but the stuff he be saying about LeBron sometimes it just be like, come on, man. Like even a LeBron hater would be like, come on, man. You gotta at least give him credit here. Like this dude just be shitting on LeBron all day long, man. Where I'm like, dog, like sometimes he don't even be having he don't be having no points to back it up or anything. He just say, oh yeah, this guy thinking he's the chosen one. He's the frozen one. It's like, dog, Skip.
Mhm.
Like Skip, this dude had 40 points, 18 rebounds, and 15 assists. And you sit there talking about he suck. It's just like, damn. But I don't know, man. But that argument was funny as hell.
It was. Spoon says I'm a Spurs fan and I hate him. Yeah, he was riding for the Spurs for a long time, man.
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
How he doing, by the
way? Dog. But I got to admit, though, the funniest thing that I heard from that whole debate was when Shannon Sharp said, I'm an NFL Hall of Famer. I've been to 3 Super Bowls. And Skip said, so what? That's such a disrespectful ass answer to give. So what?
Yeah,
you could discount anybody's whole existence by just saying so what.
Yeah,
I won 3 Olympic gold medals. So what? I've been to 5 Super Bowls. So what?
You see that set him off.
Dog, yeah, he was about to jump out the chair after that.
His voice got high pitched.
How is Shannon Sharp's voice that high?
He
hit a falsetto with that shit, man.
I had to double check because I'm like,
I thought a girl was screaming. I thought a girl was getting stabbed off screen. I thought somebody was stabbing like a 12-year-old girl or something, man. I was like, who is shrieking like that? Is Shannon?
Yeah. I had to keep playing that shit. I'm gonna play it now, man.
Now we have to look at it, man. Even though I'm sure everybody listening to the podcast has already seen it a billion times, we have to find that shit, man. That was too funny.
But yeah, I could.
Oh yeah, I found it. Hold on.
Okay.
I put it. If I put at the top above the episode number.
All right.
Yeah, man. It's Shannon Sharp's voice got like shriek pitch high. I couldn't. He sounded like fucking Eddie Kendricks, man. I was like, how did your voice get that high, dog? And he be losing his voice all the time too. So, but yeah, this debate was just so what?
Yeah. He said, "Put your glasses back."
I've been to 3 Super Bowls. I'm an NFL Hall of Famer. So what? Tom Brady's still better than you. That was so fucked up, man.
He said he was way better than him. Hold on.
Still playing at a high level at 45 when you had to stop at 35.
Yeah, that's what you do.
That's the point.
That's what you do. Every time I call something into question, I'm jealous.
No,
I did what I
never
did.
said you were jealous of Baker Mayfield.
I did what I did. You make it help the bomb. I'm in the effing Hall of Fame.
Okay,
I got 3 Super Bowls.
So what? He's way better than you.
Okay, so what?
So what? He's way better than you were.
I'm better than you.
Better.
I got to see what you do. You take personal.
Dog, how is my voice cannot go nearly that high, dog.
Yeah, you know Shannon lost his shit where he said, "I'm better than you."
I'm better than you. I got to see what you do. You take personal shots.
No, I don't take personal shots. You started it.
Time out. You would take a personal shot at me.
I didn't take a personal shot at you.
Wait a minute.
What are you talking about?
Dog. How yeah, Spoon says Cowboys fan. We got 5 Super Bowls. So what? Yeah, man. That's you can anything gets shut down when somebody says so what.
Yeah.
I'm better than you. I got to see what you do. You take personal shots.
No, I don't take personal shots. You started it.
Time out. You would take a personal shot at me.
I didn't take a personal shot at you.
Wait a minute.
What are you talking about?
You would take a personal.
Put your glasses back on.
Can I finish? You're willing to take a personal shot at me to say this man is better than me because I say he's playing bad this year?
Well, because you just
Go ahead.
you disrespect him. It's just so.
So you
know what? It's beneath.
You
Oh, this is cutting out. What's going on?
Oh man. Hold
I
on,
don't know
I
what
think I
happened
got
there.
it. Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's a classic clip. Classic trolling ass fucking Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Just like that show can't be good for his blood pressure, man.
Yeah.
Like that show can't be good for. I mean, older black people already have health problems, man. And I know he keeps in shape, but that show can't be good for his blood pressure, man. He be getting a little too invested sometimes
Man,
and a little too heated.
just imagine some dude that didn't play at any level you played sports, sitting there talking shit, talking about Brady this, Brady that, and he got 6 or 7 Super Bowls. You got 3. Like, so what?
You're just jealous because he played 10 years more than you. So what?
He playing at 45, and you had to stop at 35.
Yeah, dog,
He
that's
like,
wild,
he
man.
like, you trying to play me like I'm some bum or something. Like, I ain't ask you all the thing.
Yeah, that show is just
So what?
nonstop Cowboys, Brady,
Lakers.
and LeBron.
Yep.
3 topics all day.
Yeah. I haven't
So
watched that shit in a long time, man.
yeah, it's
Like, I'm
rare for
glad
me
that
too,
shit come
man.
on while I'm at work, so I can't
Mhm.
watch it. But yeah, man, everything Cowboy, like man, they were talking about the Cowboys almost losing to the Texans all fucking day, man.
Mhm.
I'm like, man, that shit is crazy.
Yeah, no, I'm sure I'll bet money they have not had a single segment on the World Cup, the biggest sporting event in the world. I'll be shocked if they had even one segment during this whole time about the World Cup because none of them care about that shit or watch it. If it
Yeah,
ain't Cowboys, if it ain't LeBron, if it ain't Tom Brady, it's not gonna make the rundown.
yeah.
So
I would like to
the only debate would be could LeBron win a World Cup if he was in soccer?
yeah,
They will remix LeBron into it somehow.
yeah.
Would LeBron win a World Cup or would he choke on the biggest stage in the world?
Mhm. I would like to see what they fucking ratings are, man. Like,
No, I had no
are
idea,
their
man.
ratings that good where they can only talk about Cowboys, LeBron, and Tom Brady?
I mean, those are like of all the sports topics you could talk about, like those are the main hitters on a nationwide level because everybody has number one. There's the
They got
Cowboys are the
fans all
biggest.
over.
Yeah, the Cowboys are the
It's not.
biggest franchise in America, so it makes sense on that end, I guess. LeBron
Yeah.
is the most known. Everybody got an opinion on LeBron.
Yeah. See
So
the thing is about all of those, they got fans everywhere. It's not like Dallas Cowboys fans are only in Dallas. You got like some diehard Dallas Cowboy fans in New York.
mhm.
You got some in, Seattle, LA, down to Florida. So, that kind of makes sense. Same thing with LeBron. It's LeBron fans everywhere.
Mhm.
And they gonna go wherever he go. And the same thing with Tom Brady. So I guess I get it, but man, I miss the old days. Remember the ESPN show Cold Pizza?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I miss those days where they actually had topics and it
Mhm.
wasn't all, hot jocks, hot takes type shit. Man, I miss them days. Now it's just straight up, if it's not those 3 topics, they talking about just injustice or Brittany Griner or something like that.
Mhm.
So, man.
Yeah, nah, definitely, man. It's it's a sad state of affairs, man. But it is what it is. I think yeah, it's definitely gone to the bottom of the barrel type sports talk shit.
Yeah.
Spoon says LeBron in goal, nothing gets through. I get goalkeeper. Yeah, I argue that too, man. I always thought if LeBron played as big and fast as he is, he should be like goalkeeper, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a tough position, dog. I've been watching the World Cup, man. I've been watching it. It comes on strange times, so I'll be watching the games at work. but yeah, it's been a hype World Cup, man. I like soccer. Soccer is fun when it's like somebody has to win.
Yeah.
I hate the fucking group stage. Yeah, you could draw and get points and move on. That I don't like all that shit.
You
But
like
I
that
like
elimination?
elimination soccer is fun, man. And I've been watching the games. They've been exciting for the most part. And France look like they're gonna take it, man. They got some monsters on that team. So yeah, I think the final is on Sunday. I think I want to say. So
Okay.
yeah, some good soccer going on, man. But yeah, it's I guarantee you they have not talked about that once, except the hypothetical: will LeBron win a World Cup or some shit like that? So yeah, I remember they dedicated like a whole segment to Space Jam 2. I remember that day too.
Oh shit!
They had a whole segment on, and it's Skip tweeted about it too. I'm gonna tear down Space Jam 2 next on First Things. What was it called? The show? Skip and Shannon, whatever the fuck it's called.
Undisputed.
Yeah, Undisputed. I'm like, come on, man. Spoon says Sports Nation was good in the beginning. Yeah, it was, man. That was like, I don't want to say like the golden age, but there were good shows on at that time. Sports Nation was good. What else? Highly Questionable was with Dan Levitard and his dad was a good show.
I kind of missed that show, man.
I do, man.
At first, I didn't really care for that show, but after a while, I'm like, dang, this show is actually all right.
Yeah, no, that was a good show, man. I like Jamel Hill and what's his name before they got on sports. They had a different show that I thought was pretty good too.
Yeah, because it was like a podcast at first.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of it. His and Hers or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that show. There were good shows on, but they fucking, of course, ruined them all. And now everything is just high takes.
I wonder what was they thinking about putting them on the 5 o'clock Sports Center? Because now that I look at it, that was a bad move.
No, it was like like that was not their dynamic, man.
Yeah, and
it was strange.
And with them two, like that's prime time. I mean, that's prime time. That's 5 o'clock. That's where that's where everybody goes to see what's going on. And I think that took them out of their element, man.
Oh, definitely, man. Yeah, it was not a good fit.
They tried to get them loose a little bit, but it just didn't work out. And then Jamel Hill just went off the rails.
Yeah. No, that was a bad idea, man. They should have kept him on that show, but like that's what ESPN does, and that's what the issue with Disney owning it and all this shit. Like they'll have a good thing, but they'll get run into the ground and then canceled. Or some shit will happen, or they'll move things around for no reason, and they'll just fuck everything up, man. But all these layoffs they do too every year, all their good people are gone now. Bomani, like the last guy, he got a more than a foot out the door at this point.
Yeah,
I'm sure he'll be gone soon.
This dude about to get a night show, man. It look like he's gearing up to be on HBO or some shit.
So he's pretty much done. So yeah, it's I don't know, man. ESPN be putting good content out sometimes, but they always shoot themselves in the foot with it. So it's what it is. But oh well. Yeah. Is there anything else we want to talk about tonight? Anything else we're missing? This is the last podcast of the year. Thank everybody for joining the podcast, man. Anybody who listened to us, whether it was 5 minutes or 500 minutes, we appreciate everybody who came through for the streams, everybody who listened through for the podcast. We appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for hanging out with us. I know we be skipping weeks sometimes, but look, we busy, man. We got lives, we got things to do, but we always gonna come through and give you our little thoughts on whatever and rate this hip hop and talk about all this shit. We appreciate all y'all rocking with us. We're gonna have some more guests on in the future, of course. Check out the Mad Hatter interview if you haven't. Good interview with that brother. He was a good guest. Really enjoyed the discussion. And yeah, everybody who supported the podcast, man. Tab, we see you. Spoon, we see you in the comments too. Everybody who came through. Who else? I'm blanking on the names now, but everybody who else who come through. Drunk be coming through. Ernesto. Y'all know who y'all are, man.
Yeah, Pablo
Yes.
on Facebook, Tony, yeah, Spoon. Shout out to Spoon as well. But yeah, man. Shout out
I
to
know I'm
y'all.
missing some, but that's for y'all fault for not being here tonight. If you want to shout out, you got to be here in the physical. But appreciate y'all, man. Love y'all. Y'all have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah. Remember, Black people are Jewish now, so we
I
celebrate
know.
Hanukkah too. So I'm gonna give me a little hat, but I was just fucking around. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you and yours. Hope y'all have a great one, and hope we gonna come out firing for the next year, man. You know we gonna do bigger and better things, have some more guests. And just keep doing it all like we always do, man. So appreciate everybody on the stream, man.
Yep.
Everybody who came through.
Yep. Happy holidays. Happy
Yes.
Happy New Year's, all that stuff. And we gonna come back better than ever next year.
Always, man. We love y'all and everybody out there. Take care, man.